And welcome to the RDFNL Week 1 of the finals here, qualifying final at Romsey Park between Woodend, Hesket and Wallan. We have myself, Tony White, Paul Turner and Tara Murray with us today. How are we, guys?
Very well, Tone. Hello, Tara, and welcome back.
Good. It's good to be back. I haven't seen a RDFL men's game this year. I saw the women's grand final a few weeks ago and was on the broadcast with Tony, but out here for the good time of the season and one of many matches we'll see out here at Romsey Park in the next few weeks.
Well, normally finals time, it comes on in spring weather, beautiful sunshine, lovely warm day.
Here
we haven't got that here because it's Romsey.
Yeah. Hey, it's not snowing
overcast,
yet.
It's cold and drizzly and wet this morning. Welcome to RDFL Finals.
Yeah, it's not snowing yet, so we're still better than most of the times. Well, just give everyone a recap here quickly. It's 13 and a half minutes left in the last quarter of the reserves game. Wallan leading 9-3-57 to Romsey 2-4-16. So that looks like it's going to be a pretty good win here for Wallan in the twos game.
Do you need any help after seeing that score since you're a Romsey person through and through?
Not when I'm on the broadcast. when we get offline, maybe I might need to fix my one eye, but at the moment I'm all right.
Every quarter time break he's in tears. It's actually depressing to be on the commentary team when Romsey getting beaten.
All right, what are we expecting today, guys?
Oh, this will be a cracker. Midfield battle between two of the best midfields in the competition. Look, I've tipped Woodend because they've got Ethan Minns back and a few and Dan Davey, but they haven't played a lot of footy in the last 8 to 10 weeks, but they're still powerhouses. And put Tommy Gawthorpe in there and Timmy Martin and I just think they've got too much forward power for the Magpies today.
Well, you mentioned that throughout the season, Wallan averaged, I think it was half a point more per game. So forward entries, forward scores, are pretty even between these two sides. But you mentioned that Woodend hasn't had their full forward lineup, and who they're going to throw up there is interesting because you mentioned Gawthorpe. He's played not much forward. He's played majority down back. He's only kicked 5 goals for the season, and 3 of them came against Wallan a couple of weeks ago. You've got Davey who can go in that forward line. You've got Minns. Tate Pears is another one that can also go in the forward line too.
As well.
So he's come back in the last couple of weeks. So they've got a lot of flexibility there. So look, for me, interesting defensively how they go because
it's not the fastest forward line God's put breath in, that's for sure. But Minzy can be, but he's got crook knees, and we all know that. But the rest of them are pluggers, and so the speed of Wallan are quick and fit, and we've seen that in the last few games. They don't stop, and they just keep running. So it is going to be a midfield battle. I mean, Timmy Martin against Gill, that's going to be a ripper, and we saw that only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, look, I'm a little bit wary of the amount of ins that Woodend have brought in. Like, it was only 2 weeks ago that we seen. They dominated for most of that game except 2 10-minute patches where Wallan were able to go bang, bang, bang and score most of their goals. So having such a big upheaval in your forward line, you just got to hope it doesn't rock the apple boat.
Well, you get to see young Ollie Watt again too. He
played
really well. He took a screamer last time we saw him play. This kid is a serious player. You go over to the Wallan side. They rely heavily on Matty Perry, and Matty's not getting any younger or taller. So he's going to find, he's going to have his work cut. Staple and them today aren't going to give him 1 inch of room. And he didn't play the last time they played against these two, but they rely heavily on him. If they can shut him down, they've got to find goals from somewhere else, and that's going to be difficult for them.
And for me, another key factor in this game is Woodend hasn't played finals since 2009.
Yep.
So I don't think any of these guys in this senior side would have been playing senior football back in 2009. So they do have a lot of guys who have played senior finals football elsewhere.
Yep.
Dan Toman played at the Sunbury Lions and also VFL play. You're going to be looking to your likes of your Martin, your Rays, your Stapletons. They're the sort of guys. Minns is another one. Davies another one who have either played finals elsewhere or played in premierships elsewhere. That they're going to be turning. Josh Pound's another one, won premierships at Aberfeldy. They're going to be the keys for this side that hasn't got a lot of finals experience.
And that's why you bring these players in to bring the kids on. This is a very exciting day for Woodend. I mean, it's been years since you've seen Woodend come up and play finals. So really looking for. Look, they're ready. They're prime. I think they're been the best team all year. I mean, we've seen them have some great. I mean, the demolition job they did on Romsey here that day. They were in the game all virtually apart from a couple of minutes against Wallan the other week. I think they're the form team at the moment.
Look, I wouldn't rule out Diggers Rest though. They're fit and firing. They've got a full lineup.
And they're all here today having a snoop. So I saw Benny and Lobby and all them running around having a look around here too. So look, and a week off is going to help the old bodies down there, but there's only so many times you can wheel them out of the nursing home before you got to play them. So,
well, they're a very different side though to what there was, and Jensen will be back as well. He kicked 7 points in the reserves in his return game, and he's had a couple more weeks in the track. So look, I don't think you can discount Diggers right yet.
No, well they finished on top with 1 loss for a reason.
And we'll just quickly go before we go into our interviews. We'll give our tips for today. So, who have we got, guys?
I went for Wood End by about 20 points.
I think I went for Wallan during the week. I can't actually remember. It's in the record for anyone who wants to point out. But
I will apologise to Wood End because I am the kiss of death. So everything I tip, the opposite happens. So Wallan will be rubbing their hands together hearing I've made that call.
Yeah, and I've gone for Wood End by 8 points. So I think it's going to be a nice close game. Well, we seen it 2 weeks ago. I don't think there's going to be much to separate these two teams except those very tight moments that whoever makes the most of them.
Cool.
So we'll just bring in Andy Wilson here from Wood End. So Andy's going to be our representative for Wood End today, so it'd be good to hear from him. Let him ask us what's going on for today and see how we go from there. Andy, welcome, mate.
Thanks very much.
How's the atmosphere at the club, knowing it's the first time the club's playing senior football final since 2009?
It's absolutely enormous. It's not just a big day, a big weekend for the club. We've got our seconds and 19s playing tomorrow as well. We've got the senior netball team playing, and we've got our C-grade girls playing tomorrow. So, yeah, really excitement around the club is huge. It's fantastic. It's been a long time coming, and the drought's been broken us getting into the finals, but hopefully we can have a win.
Yeah, it's been awesome to see. Paul and I have mentioned a lot of times throughout the call this season that how good it is to see a strong Wood End team. It really has changed the fabric of this league. You're having Wood End come really strong. Lansfield have been super competitive all year. Melton Centrals. It really has been a really good uplift and thing for the league as well. So having the whole club part of finals, it must be huge for you guys down there.
Yeah, very much so. Like you said, it's good for the league to have all clubs strong. Hopefully there's a couple of clubs that can get up there next year and strengthen it as well. But for us personally, it has been a long time coming. We're a good club, but it's we've got to be better than just a good club. People see us as a good club. We've won that nomination a couple of times in the league recently, but it's about playing football and winning football. And we've tried to build that culture of being a good club with good people there, and then the winning will come, and hopefully that's next.
Yeah, and for you guys, obviously, I know speaking with Josh throughout the season, the first step was making finals, but now it's changing that mindset that you wanted that top 2 or 3, that you want to be the contender. How's that sort of gone for the group to go from just that one step to the next step?
Yeah, winning is a culture and it's a belief, and the guys are getting that. Winning a couple of close games recently where maybe we didn't deserve to win, but we just hung in there. Where their games previously we would have lost. So having that belief is massive. Winning is a habit, and it's a habit where we're starting to get into.
Yeah, and for you guys, exciting for you guys, your forward line. It's been a little bit hit and miss throughout with Davey overseas, Pears out, Min's out. Gawthrop's played both ends of the ground. How is it that you've got all these guys back come finals and that you can mix them around? Yeah,
finals in, there's a lot of luck in it, where you're sitting in the season with your injuries and that sort of stuff, and we're just really blessed to have, the 3 big guys up and running at the moment. Hopefully they're just going to get better and better as, it's only been a week or so that they've played together. To have that rotation, it really will keep the back lines guessing who's coming on and the damage they can do.
Yeah, so we think today's going to be a huge battle between the midfields. You guys are stacked through there. Dan Toman, I love Kyle Baker. I reckon he's an absolute superstar of this competition. Probably doesn't get a lot of credit considering Dan Toman's there. Tim Martin's the best ruckman in the comp. Jack Arsieri's been going through there. Ben Toman's been a great relief as well for his brother. That going against Shawnee Morris, Vianney, Port. Laley's probably going to try and do a job on Toman, so that's going to be hard for you guys to try and battle. And Stevie Boyle was a huge out for Wallan, so you may have the upper hand there. Is that where you think you'll be won and lost today?
Oh, I think it's going to be won and lost all over the ground, actually. Like you said, Boyle, it's disappointing to see a really good player. He went down against us, and it's sad to see, that happen. But, midfield, forward, back, it's just going to be across the ground. And also the bench is really, really important, how we rotate our guys, get the guys fresh at every contest. So that's super important. We're just, really nervous to get the game underway. It's, like I said, it's massive for the club, and we're all feeling it a little bit. Just can't wait for the ball to bounce.
And how did the guys sort of handle that? You've got a number of guys who have come from other clubs that have played in premierships in the EDFL and that. How do you handle those nerves for those guys who haven't played senior finals? Yeah,
that's a great point, because we did have a sit down, would be probably a month or more ago, where we did have our guys chat, like you mentioned Mardo. wealth of experience. Minzy as well. Dan Toman hasn't had been on the big dance, but it's been around a long time. So we had guys chat who have had the ultimate experience, like our captain Alistair Ray. He played in an EDFL final a long time, grand final at Strathmore. Same with Marcus Stapleton. He's a man of few words, but he had something to say as well. And that's a little bit infectious through the group. So it's really, really important that we have those guys there and instill the belief in our guys. It is possible, yeah.
And I think another thing about today will be the run off both teams' half-back lines. Like 2 weeks ago when we were at Wallan's ground, James Wiseman and Tyson Chapman just were huge all day. We're up and back up along the wing. And it's a nice ground here at Romsey. There's a lot of space out there for the run, and I think they're going to be a really huge advantage for you guys today, because I just think their height as well. They can defend players and also give that attacking option as well. Yeah, the run off the halfback's been massive for us. Tyson's been great. It's really good to see that he's had some really consistent game time, because over the couple of years he's struggled a little bit with soft tissue injuries, but he's done a mountain of work to get himself right. And like you said, Wiseman, he's a bit of a machine. He can run and loves to run and find space. So them two guys. We've also got Toby Duff Tyler down the back, who does like to move and he can use the ball really, really well. So yeah, it's a good lineup for us there.
And one thing for me is interesting, the start. Both times you guys have played Wallan, you've jumped out of the blocks, had that good start. Is that something you guys have really made a focus on, coming against the Magpies, to put them on the back foot?
The start's super important. We saw that last week with us against Macedon. We sort of put them away early, and then it was a little bit toe for toe after that. So that the jump is really, really important to get off to a good start. In saying that, we have come home well, and we have a lot of faith that we can finish off a game with our fitness, our strength, and our belief. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
All right, thanks for that. Really, really appreciate you coming out, Andy. Great. Good luck today. Good luck tomorrow for the whole club. Congratulations again. It's been great to see Woodend get right up that ladder.
Yeah, thanks so much. Have a great call, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Andy.
Cheers. Thank you. Yeah, well, look, it's going to be toe for toe no matter what happens today. I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way. Yeah, so sorry, everyone out there, we're just getting spoken to from the side as well. So it is going to be a great game today. I couldn't imagine there's going to be more than a couple goals either way at any one time.
Look, I'm expecting it to be a close one, and Andy mentioned the netball as well. We are at quarter time in the A-grade netball match. There was a little bit of a delay with the B-grade match going into extra time before, but we've got Macedon leading Woodend Hesket 10-7 at quarter time in that match. So for those two teams are playing for a spot in the next week's semi-final against Riddle that has the bye this week.
And so, just on the netball, Tara, who's your pick to win out of today's game? Like, obviously going to be a close game, 10-7.
Look, this one was one that could have quite easily gone either way. I can't even remember who I tipped as well during the week. I did my tipping. I don't know who I did tip, but look, it's one. Macedon's a very experienced side, and we've seen for a number of years they've been one of the top sides since probably the last 7-8 years, been really, really strong team. And then you've got Woodend Hesket, who played finals last year, and the two teams did play each other in the final round of the season, so they've got a good look at each other. And I know Macedon's got Janelle Birch. I don't think she's Birch anymore, but she's come back into the side, which gives them a little bit more experience in that defence end. So look, there's nothing in it at that first quarter, and I think it's another one of those matches that could go either way.
Yeah, look, it's been great. We're going to speak to Jordan Doyle, CEO of the league, later this afternoon. And look, there's no way that anyone could be unhappy with how the league's been performing this year on every level, both football and netball. So we have injured Wallan midfielder Stephen Boyle with us today. Stevie, how are you, mate?
Going well, mate. Thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. So, firstly, do you want to tell us what's happened, or keep that under your hat?
Nah. She's just ACL and meniscal tear. So catch up with the surgeon during the week and go from there. Yeah.
Full Rico, are you looking at?
Yeah, full Rico. Yep. So done a bit of a mischief, but that's all right. It is what it is. It's part of footy, isn't it? You just
Yep. So what's your role now come finals time?
Well, I was midfield coach through the year anyway, but obviously from a playing perspective, now I'll be doing it from the sideline. So I'll help the boys out where I can. It's tricky, because obviously you want to be out there, but I'll try to do as much as I possibly can to give a little bit of feedback where I can, but that's pretty much all I can do.
Yeah. And for you guys, finals officially start today, but probably started 2 weeks ago. You had the thriller against Woodend Hesket, then another one against Riddle, that you sort of warmed up for finals with two finals-like intensity matches.
Yeah, so we really needed to take a couple of scalps coming into finals because we hadn't beaten any of those top teams. So we put a pretty big emphasis on Woodend to make sure we got that win. And obviously to win those games, we needed to finish 2 and 3. If we lost one of them we would have finished 4th, I think it was, yeah. So for us, it was really important coming into finals with confidence. And so the boys are wrapped. You know, we won ugly on the weekend just gone, but against Riddle, you'll take any way you can win against them. Yeah, so it was good win. Yeah.
We called that game, and look, we thought the first half, Hayden Gill was just astronomical in the midfield. His athleticism really showed out over Nathan Mills at Riddle there. But it seemed to also be, with your out, it's almost like Wallan sort of didn't have that hit-to target in the first half, and it seemed to be at half-time they sort of got together and worked out, all right, who's the target, whether it be Morris or Vianney or Laley, whoever it was going through there. Is that something that you guys think you're going to have to work on, because you are such a dominant hit-to target throughout the season? It's a big out just before finals.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, probably you take any of your starting midfielders out, you're gonna have to adapt in some way. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, the chemistry wasn't there, but they'll get better at that. We've got a couple of boys playing a couple of roles in there today. So hopefully Vianney and Snake can get off the leash a little bit more and focus on their game. Whereas last week it was probably just adjusting. And Big Gill, he's a good ruckman, but he's got his hands full today against Martin. So last week will be different to this week, because last week, he was taller and more athletic ruckman, whereas Martin is probably going to win predominantly most of the taps. So we'll have to adjust things a little bit in there to accommodate for that. So we can't focus too much on how last week went, because it's a different role this week again. So I'm looking forward to how the boys go and adjust, and it's exciting. Yeah, it's exciting stuff. Yeah, yep.
For you guys at the start, is it something that you've looked at? Because both times you have played, Woodend has got the better of you early on.
Definitely, yeah. Obviously, I guess the pleasing thing is we've managed to peg it back and stay in games. We don't want to be in that situation today where we have to peg a game back, because if we give up 4 goals like we did against Woodend, we may not get that same result. So big emphasis on the start today, and just being physical over the footy and not allowing teams to push us off the ball and stuff like that. So that's going to be a big approach today. Yeah, so we'll see how the boys respond to that. Yeah. Just
in the intro today, we were talking about some of the players you've got going through your team. Matt Perry, been around for a very, very long time.
Yep.
It doesn't have to get a lot of the ball to make an impact. I think last week he had 5 disposals, 4 of them were goals, and 1 was a handoff. So he's still super, super important to your forward line as well. He was obviously out in the last game in round 17 against Woodend.
Yep.
So he's a big inclusion as well.
He is, and I guess the big thing is he takes a good back. So whether he's on top of his game or he's not, he's still taking a good defender, and the opposition's putting time into him. So that benefits us every time he's out there. So we know what he's capable of doing for the team. So hopefully he can get on the end of a few today, and that'd be nice. Yeah.
Is it exciting knowing that he hasn't had the season that probably he wanted, or what you've come to know to expect, that he's still got that another level to come today and finals?
Yeah, definitely. He's had a busy year, injuries. He had a kid. He's really excited about the challenge, and obviously we're not getting any younger, some of us older boys, so I think he knows that we're limited time to have success.
Yeah.
So I've got no doubt today he's going to put everything forward to, he could be the difference for us. So he'll be ready to go, and hopefully he can get on the end of a few. Yeah.
You mentioned that probably limited time that you guys are sort of a little bit older than probably what Woodend is. You guys played in a grand final 2019. You've been around the mix. Now you're facing a Woodend side that hasn't played finals since 2009. Very different situations. The two teams enter finals. Yeah,
well, we're a different list anyway. So from 2019. There's probably only 5 or 6 players that played in that team. So we do have some young boys as well. I guess it's one of those things, the team that settles first is probably going to be the team that wins. So if we can control our nerves, we'll be more beneficial for that. But if we can't control our nerves, Woodend are pretty experienced and strong boys, so that could hurt us too.
Yeah, look, we just spoke to Andy Wilson from Woodend before. Their nerves are being felt for the whole club as well. As Tara just said, they haven't been since 2009, so it's huge for both teams. We mentioned before Matt Perry, but in the game in round 17, Jacob Langboard just sprung out from halftime. Don't know where he came from. He popped up there like a mushroom in the ground, kicked 3, dominated that quarter. Yeah. And then last week, he was just super athletic again, keeps hitting up at the ball really, really well. It's like he's the connector when Gill goes into the midfield. Is that sort of his role? Or?
So Jacob's an interesting one, because we haven't seen much of him, and you guys haven't seen much of him. So when he plays, he just provides that, that target. He's that medium size where he can mark, he can crumb, and it just it relieves the forward line a fair bit having him down there, because he can take a contested mark. And I reckon hopefully we've got the best to see of him over the next few weeks. But he's really talented, and over the next few years you'll see a lot more of him and what he can do, I think. But yeah, I'm just as interested as you are, because I don't know how he's going to go today. So yeah.
All right, thanks for that, Stevie.
No worries.
Good luck today, mate, and
Cheers,
good luck
mate.
for the rest of the finals as
Yeah.
well.
Cheers,
mate. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was injured Wallan midfielder Stephen Ball, who just joined us on the broadcast for a little bit. We will have our third guest of the pre-game show with the league's Jordan Doyle, set to join us in a second once he puts headphones on. Thanks for joining us, Jordan.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
For you, it must be exciting this time of year that we've got a final series that looks like it's going to be a cracker with a little bit different from what we've had the last few years with Wood End Hesket making finals.
Yeah, it's great to see Wood End in this weekend. First time in 16 years, I think it is. So
2009.
2009, 14 years. So yeah, it's good to have them in.
Look, we just want to recap a few of the things that have happened in this awesome season we've had so far in the RDFL. And the first thing for me, it's been the highlight, was the women's competition kicking off this season. We had the grand final 3 weeks ago, was it, Tara, I think? It was an awesome atmosphere out there at Wood End Hesket. Kyneton girls got one on the day, but the atmosphere that was going and the support that was given to that competition must be great to be part of that league.
Yeah, it was another frontier that the league needed to tick off. We didn't have a senior women's. We were a little bit late to the party on that one, but it was fantastic to get 6 teams up. We were thinking it was probably going to be 5, and Macedon were the last ones in and ended up making the grand final, which was, yeah, it was awesome. The crowd at Wood End that night was really good. I think for the women's competition, we always said from the get-go that it wasn't going to be an add-on. They were going to get equal billing. They were going to have every game filmed. They were going to have a Premier Data subscription just like the men's. So it was really well received, and yeah, hopefully it's just the start of some really exciting years to come in senior women's football in the RDFNL.
Yep. Did the competition exceed your expectations of what you were going to get with it? You mentioned you're thinking you're only going to get 5 teams. You got 6. I know Lancefield was another club that did put their hand up to try and get a team up and going. That there was a lot of interest in that first season.
Yeah, it was, and we didn't even really know what to expect grand final day, how many people are going to show up and the support for it, but it definitely did exceed expectation. But yeah, that's the base now, so hopefully we can continue to build on it, and it goes from strength to strength from here.
And last weekend was a very busy day for you out at McPherson Park with the juniors grand final all day. I was out there supporting my son's friends' teams out there for Romsey. It was a huge day. Another massive crowd across both grounds, both netball courts. Another success for the league as well.
Yeah, it was 22 grand finals at the one venue. Has its logistical challenges, but we had 5,400 people through the gates, biggest ever crowd. It was great to have it at McPherson Park. That venue is now first class with the massive pavilion in the middle and the 2 netball courts. It can be a little bit windy, that place, but we got a great day weather-wise, which didn't hurt, and had a great representation. We had every club in the league represented in the grand finals. I know 8 out of 10 netball grand finals were shared by different clubs, and there was a good spread in the footy as well. So yeah, the future's bright with the juniors, and yeah, everything went well, and we're looking forward to that continuing as well.
Yeah, and obviously for this season, it's sort of been our first non-COVID season. Last year was held under the COVID cloud. How have you sort of seen the league and how things have sort of gone this year with having back to a normal season?
Yeah, I think there was definitely a bit of volunteer burnout coming out of COVID. The protocols and everything that was thrown up at clubs through those 2 years were pretty difficult, and a lot of people didn't rush back into footy after the half a season over 2 years. But I think, yeah, as you said, this year it's all back to normal now, and yeah, it's onwards and upwards.
So being the first non-COVID season in probably 2 or 3 years, you must be absolutely pleased with how competitive the league has been. But besides sort of Western Rams, every team could beat every other team on their day. Melton Centrals were huge improvers. Lansfield much better than second last place on the ladder, and Wood End Hesket for the first time in 14 years are in the final. So it's all looking good for the league. Yeah,
it was. And you mentioned the Rams. The Rams didn't win a game again, which obviously they would have liked to have, but a couple of games early in the year, like they were 30 points down at three-quarter time against Riddle. At Riddle, that would have been the 300-point margin in 2019. So it's easy for some people to sit back and go, they're still cellar dwellers, which they didn't. As I said, they didn't win a game, but there has been some improvement. You mentioned Centrals and Lansfield. Both teams knocked off last year's Premier. Lansfield again were in front at three-quarter time against Romsey in a must-win game for Romsey. So yeah, it was definitely a more even season, which is great. Would end in the finals, as we said. So yeah, things are looking good there, and hopefully it's a sign of things to come.
Yeah, and the netball, a pretty competitive season as well. Obviously Lancefield was down the bottom. Diggers Rest did slip down a little bit, losing a whole lot of players, but you welcome the Gisborne Giants into the senior netball program for the first time as well. Must be excited what's happening there.
Yeah, the Giants, we've done a lot of work with them over a number of years to make that transition, and the original plan was for them to fully affiliate next year across football and netball. That's now going to be postponed a year, unfortunately, but there has been some really good groundwork done. You mentioned Diggers West won the flag last year, not in the finals. The team who finished on the bottom last year, Romsey, are now in finals. So there's been some inconsistencies there with performance, which is giving different clubs a look. We see Woodend and Macedon playing at the moment. Their two sides have been pretty strong for a number of years now, but the netball's really strong, as we know, and a lot of VNL players and the quality's there, but it's a footy netball culture, and I think it's great, and it's going to continue in our league, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Giants affiliation put back a year. Is that due to a lack of ground for the footballers? What's the sort of the go there?
Yeah, it definitely hasn't. It hasn't helped the situation with the new Gisborne precinct being pushed back, so it's now not due to be ready by midway through next year. Still think that the Giants probably could have got there if things had gone their way, but the appetite wasn't quite there without a full-time standalone venue. They would have to share it and rely on some support from Gisborne in the Bendigo League, which they didn't think was going to come through. So, it is what it is, and we'll look forward to them in 25, hopefully.
Yeah, so that's the perfect segue into my next question. I said I wouldn't have too many hard questions for you, but obviously there's been rumours going around social media, around the clubs as well. Bendigo League having a little bit of a realignment. Paul and I have said throughout the season that we'd love a Gisborne team in. Obviously that's going to happen in a couple of years' time. We'd love a Sunbury team to really solidify the legitimacy of this league. There's been talks obviously about Kyneton, so is there anything you can give us there?
Yeah, I sent an email out to the clubs yesterday. So Kyneton had a vote on Thursday night, and they voted to request a transfer into the RDFNL for next year. So there's a bit of a process that needs to go from there, but we have emailed AFL Victoria and started that process. So that will play out over the next month or so. But the first step is Kyneton wanting to affiliate, which they've requested that. So our clubs now been made aware of that. We'll go through a consultancy period with them, and then we'll go from there for hopefully next year.
It obviously helps with them having their junior program already in our league and their women's program joining our league as well. So the mix should be relatively simple, you would think, or?
Oh, I think so. They're a geographical fit. They're obviously playing in a premier competition at the moment. It's classified Bendigo League as a premier competition, but they've been starved of success for a long time. They haven't played finals, haven't won a final for 26 years. So I think it makes sense for that community. They've had their ups and downs over the last 10 years. They were in recess in 2013 and openly come out and had a lot of debt in 2018, but their volunteers have worked really hard, and they've come across seamlessly in the juniors and the women, and we think it'd be another seamless transition.
Yeah, and probably the other clubs, Ainsbury Eagles, where are they sort of at? I know they won the Club 18's premiership, having been in that grand final 12 months ago. Any closer to them having reserves and seniors? Yeah,
so we've got a meeting in October with Ainsbury. It'll probably go down a similar MOU path that we had with the Giants, where they'll come from the ground up. They have got a Club 18s, as you mentioned. They are really strong, but it is an older demographic that plays in that, and it is a social team, which is what the clubbies is all about. So I don't see too many of those current players probably going to play in their first senior side, but they'll be in under-19s hopefully from 2025 and build up as well. So their netball's also really strong.
Yep. As we're about to get nearly the first bounce here, have you got a tip today?
I've tipped Woodend, but I think it'll be really close. 2 points, I think, when they met a couple of weeks ago. So hopefully it's another close one.
Oh, good.
Thanks for today, Jordan. Really appreciate it, mate. Thank you very
Good
much.
Call.
So yeah, we're just about with the two teams going out to their respective positions at the moment. It seems like we're Woodend all round at the moment for us here as callers. So obviously that means nothing compared to what could happen. So look, it's just going to be an absolutely great game. And we even failed to mention, Paul, look who's out there ready to run the boundary line. Our great friend Sideshow. I hadn't even seen him.
This is why we are influential people in the RDFL, mate, because we asked for him, and look, they're giving him a chance, and hopefully mid-September when we got the grand final, he's running around. So Woodend are going to left of screen. They won the toss and have chosen to go left of screen, which is the township end.
I was going to say, before we get underway, update in the netball, Macedon leading 2014 in the second quarter.
So just slightly extended their lead there.
It's nice having some netball input.
It is. And look, we're in a fantastic spot here as well. We're right between the netball court and the footy ground as well, so we can try and keep everyone abreast across both competitions as we can. So Look, I'm really looking forward to this first bounce. Timmy Martin there just shaking hands with Hayden Gill. Hayden Gill, it's a whole different ballgame today compared to Nathan Mills. Timmy Martin, very experienced. Does like to use the body as well, and we know Gill likes to run and jump. So
Kyle Baker's in there.
I was trying to figure out whether Gill and Martin actually played against each other in the Northern Footy League, because I was trying to think, did Banyul go up this year or last year? So they may have actually gone head-to-head before.
So we're just waiting for the last members of the public to remove themselves from the playing surface. Push and shove already between Kyle Baker and Shawnee Morris. That'll keep going all day, I think. So umpire holds the ball aloft. Ball goes up. Gill with a great jump, gets the tap out down straight to Toman, who's wrapped up immediately. We'll have a repeat stoppage. So exactly what we thought. Gill will use his athleticism. Martin trying to get the body in the way.
And he'll have a big influence on today because he will jump all over the top of Tim Martin.
Ball goes up again.
Except
Martin too strong there. Pushes Gill out the way. Gets a boot on the ball. Brody Gilchrist underneath it. Takes a great mark, Brody Gilchrist. Comes back inside. Goes straight down the middle of the ground. Dangerous, but finds Hayden Gill all alone in the centre circle. Gill plays on quickly. Continues on looking for Sean Morris. Morris, the ball just can't quite. He'll ducks his head there. Umpire says play on. Baker gets the handball out. Up to Patterson. Oh, he overruns the ball. Comes down. Michael Backery's get taken down by Tom Pound, and it'll be a ball up in the forward 50 for Woodend.
So about right on the 50 line, right in front of the Woodend coach's box. Martin and Gill. Martin in front, belted over his back. Trying to work his way through. Down there was Jake Laley. Comes out to the Hawks. Hawks out to Toman. Toman's tackled high. He's going to get a free kick. No, he's going to be thrown in.
Yeah, the umpire blindsided there. Very, very lucky, Sean Morris.
So sideshow Bob. Now he throws it in high and short. Let's see if they pick that up. No. Gill in front. Takes it out at handballs into the goal square. Taken down there. Oh, there's a good contest. Taken out down there by
Port.
Port has a flying shot and misses absolutely everything.
So it'll be a throw in the left forward pocket here for Wallan.
And I did some quick research. Apparently I tipped Wallan during the week.
There you go. At least one of us. Well, someone will get it right today.
At least we know that that's going to be a close game because we're all unsure. Umpire throws it in. Here's a big throw in this one. Tim Martin finds his way to the front, taps it down. Up jumps Vianney. He's tackled immediately there by Giddings. And it'll be a ball up, 25 out from goal. We've played 2 minutes and either team yet to score.
It's now half-time in the netball with Macedon leading by 6 goals, increasing from 3 at quarter time.
Cat's doing well in the netball. Martin takes it out, tries to kick it out fresh airy. Hawks are going to try and run it out. Kicks out to the boundary. And that's a good grab taken down there by Ferguson. Played on quickly. It's not a great kick. Oh, he's been holding the man. There's a free kick going. They're going to play advantage out from Pears. Pears brings it over to Mins. Mins on his left foot. And this is a good entry into the forward line. And it's down here to Patterson. Patterson kicks up, and that's a good mark to Tommy Gawthorpe. And this will be a great start for the captain if he can kick the first. He was really effective against the Magpies last time.
It was a beautiful play there by Woodend all the way down this commentary side wing. Just kept hitting the target, kept moving forward. Kyle Baker's shank kick ended up working out well there. But
the forward line for the Hawks, that is a pretty potent forward line they've got here. Now, he's a good kick normally, Tommy. Gawthorpe comes in, puts it up high and has missed to the left. So the first score to the Hawks.
Never looked likely there. It was probably, I don't think it came off the boot accurately the way the height it got. But that run and carry that Woodend got here, they were quick to play on with that free kick and be able to move it forward.
Them with you. 100% right, Tara. That's what they're going to try and get them on today. So the Magpies. Gilchrist kicks out. Martin just too big, too strong. He can't. Gill's got to be careful. He can't get on one-on-one contest with big Tim Martin today. It's a shocking kick forward. Looking down for Gilchrist. Taps it down. Pam's down there. Ethan Mins is tackling. Down there he also is Brenton Cox, the reliable defender for the Magpies. We're going to get a throw in the forward pocket and attack for the Hawks.
Yeah, Brody Gilchrist is going to be in for a big day today, I reckon. There's going to be a lot of high ball into that Wallan forward line, that Woodend forward line. So he's intercepted defending should come in well. Umpire throws the ball in front. Daniel Davey knocks the ball down there, comes down to the front. Sean Morris dispossessed. Ball comes back via Braden Byrne. Chips inside. Unable to take the mark was Love. Gives the handball out again. Sean Morris can't quite grab it. Wrapped up immediately there is James Wiseman and Pat Backery. So it'll be a ball up 30 metres out from Wallan's goal. Ball goes up. Gill taps it down, but sharked by Woodend. Gets quick forward. Comes down. Gawthorpe in the pocket. Keeps the ball inside. Handballs backwards. Ball is in dispute. Pat Backery and Dan Toman. Good shepherd there by Love. Ball goes out of defence and marked there by Sean Morris on the left back flank for Wallan. Morris assesses his options here. Goes down the line. Looking for Gill at the back. He did well there. Gill just lost contact with Ray. Off he quickly plays on to Pat Backery. Backery through the midfield. Sends it straight onto Matt Perry's chest. Perry's too far out to score. He's just inside the centre square. Perry plays on. Sends it long. Looking for Michael Backery. Oh, Stapleton gets in front well. But he's been wrapped up by Jacob Langborn. It'll be a ball up just outside the centre square. The goal square.
So obvious part of the MO today is play on quickly for both of these teams.
Just keep an eye on Daniel Davies come from the ground with the blood rule for Woodend.
Bit of a tap on the nose. Hawks trying to clear it out. Comes out down to Siri. Pops it up high and to Vianney. Vianney hands the balls over. Out to Love. Back to Vianney. Here's an opportunity. He's going to look for a forward moving target, but there's nothing down there for the Hawks. Popped up in the air. Out comes Giddings. Giddings is well tackled. Down there to Perry. One way then the other. No, it's a high tackle. It's going to be a free kick to him, and that's Michael Backery who's going to get the free kick.
Yeah, he did the old Joel Selwood then. Just let the knee down a little bit lower, and it was just coming too hot there.
Not
from
like
Tommy
the Jack
Pound.
Kennedy. You never get a free kick when you get hit over the shoulders.
Backery's one of these guys that Wallan's going to need to step up today. He's their second leading goal kicker with 19 for the season. And look, they'll be pretty reliant on Perry, but if they're going to get up, they need to find different options.
Perry was up high. Normally he doesn't leave the goal square, to be honest with you.
Whether that's
it swung back beautifully.
Goal. So first goal to the Magpies, to Michael Backery. So a good start. It's nice and even. Really no one's on top at the moment.
Look, it's one that we'll keep an eye on, whether if Perry's playing that little bit higher up the ground, it's probably going to give him a different defender, so they might be looking to bring him up high and then he can run forward and lose his defender, which you're looking at there. He is going back to the square here, though, but it's one that we'll keep an eye on the day.
So Langborn last week caused a great deal of grief, and he's like, that's him and Perry together, that's quite a potent forward line.
Yeah, so it took 6.5 minutes for the first goal to be scored here. Wallan leading 1 straight 6 to Woodend 1 point. Ball goes up again. Martin wins the tap out down. It's a contested ball in the centre circle. It'll be a free kick paid here to Wallan, and that'll go to...
So Stephen Ball did say they were really keen to get a red-hot start, and they've certainly got that.
Yeah, it looks like it's Bowden. So Bowden has the ball. Oh, it's a shallow kick. Smell it on the mark by Ben Toman. Morris taps it back. Bowden gets back in there. He's wrapped up immediately. Umpire's going to say, I'll have it, thanks. It'll be a ball up just outside the centre circle. Well done, Ben Toman, staying active on the mark there.
That's experience. Umpire throws it up. Tap down. Here comes the Hawks out. By hand. They've got to be quick, and that's what they're doing. Looking down there for Pound, the coach. But it's well good tack on the ball, but it's not a great kick forward. Taken down here by Patterson. And Patterson hits up Tommy Gawthorpe again, and this is his second shot at goal. Virtually from the same spot, just a little bit closer. Let's see if he learned anything from the first one. After we said he was a great kick, he let us down terribly on the first kick, Tara. So we do tend to moz the players, and I'm going to say he's a fair chance here.
Look, tough angle.
In he comes. Actually, the umpires, there's a whistle being blown, and there's a free kick going down there to Cox. So something's happened off the ball. Tatey Pears has given one away.
In the goal square.
I would have thought the bigger advantage would have been turning the ball over where Gawthorpe was, but sort of disadvantage while
That's
here,
where the free kick
pocket.
was. That's where the free kick was, though, so it had to go there.
Cox takes off on that left foot, kicks down the line, looking down for Gilchrist and for Backery, and his ball's been marked by big Tim Martin. Martin hitting up, looking for Pears, and Pears is pushed in the back, and the umpire's paid the free kick. Standard young Ollie Watt. He's 16, not 15. We were told that today. Popped it up high. There's an opportunity down here for the Hawks. It was kicked off the ground, and that's in danger, but the umpire hasn't seen it.
It's on the full.
Oh, he's so touched, and they're going to throw it in.
Ooh.
Geez, if it's touched, I would have thought it was in danger then, because it was out of midair.
And
come on, someone give Sideshow the ball back. Come on. We love Sideshow. Here he is. So
watch this, Tara. This is a throw-in of the year, this is.
Sideshow,
High and short.
Sideshow ball in here from the left forward pocket here for Woodend. Ball goes in. Beautiful throw in as always. Oh, Gill surely been held there by Davey. Min's been gone down real hard there. And it'll be a ball up in the left forward pocket.
So the Hawks are going to open this up a little bit at the moment. They're all getting sucked into the corridor and not giving a lot of room for their forwards. Umpires throws it up. Ball's tapped down by Gill. Mins tries and gets through, has a flying snap and has kicked and missed absolutely everything and kicked out in the full. Free kick to the Magpies.
And you mentioned obviously Woodend, they have gone tall. Pears is playing forward. Gawthrop's down there. Davey was down there and got replaced with Pounds when Pound came on. So Davey's about to come back on after the blood rules. So if they keep Pound down there, they're a pretty tall side.
Absolutely. Cox kicks it out and it's down to young Langbourne. Brings it in the middle of the ground. Ball's punched forward by Tom Pound. Here come the Magpies out through Chapman. Chapman's taken out to Toman. Toman one way then the other to Martin. Leans back and just bombs it forward looking for a marking contest. Magpies down to Gilchrist. And it's been stolen by Mins. Mins runs into goal and there's the first for the Hawks.
That was too easy there by Mins. Was just able to pick it up. And
his first game back, he's been a handful for them at the moment. He's been really, really dangerous around the ball.
Look, a class figure who's come back from Gisborne in the in the Bendigo Football League, was part of their premiership side last year. So he's played at that higher level, but it was Bramley in the middle who was able to get that turnover and get the ball forward for the Hawks. We're seeing the Hawks are spending a lot of time in that forward line. It's just about getting that space so they can move the ball around there.
And Minsy's sucking that much oxygen in at the moment. We nearly passed out when he walked past us.
It is. And look, I think the biggest thing for Wallan, they keep going to a contest where Martin and Gill are coming outside of that defensive 50. Gill's winning probably around the ground, but they're kicking to that one-on-one, and when they do that, Martin's winning that, and they're getting the repeat inside 50s.
What are we waiting for? We've lost
666.
666. There's the first warning for the day. Let's see if they remember when the next one happens.
So just waiting for Braden Byrne to get into the forward line for Wallan. Unfamiliar territory for him, usually coming off the half-back line. Ball goes up. Gill jumps, but he's been beaten there by Martin, and the ball comes straight down for a repeat stoppage just outside the centre circle.
Bit of a bull in the middle, Ben Toman, isn't he?
Yes.
You wear a helmet like that, you don't mind sticking your head in to get it kicked off.
Ball goes up again. Gill works from the back, kicks the ball down to Riley Patterson. He kicks it long. Michael Mannix can't quite take the mark. Spills out the back. Dangerous ball here. In comes Toman on the left boot. Kicks it and finds Gawthorpe. Oh, sport well there from Callum Langbourne at the back. He's in trouble now. He's dived on top of the ball. What's the umpire going to say? Yeah, he's dived on top of the ball. He's going to get paid every day of the week. So he did all the hard work there, but unfortunately he didn't have any help to help him out there. So this looks like Jack Arcieri, I'd say.
He's a little bit of a handful, Tommy Gawthorpe. So three times he's led up and they've hit him with a ball. And
should have marked that one, but yeah, exactly, spot on.
They're looking for him, and they've got to be really careful how they manage this, because some of these forward entries are pretty clean and crisp, and Wallan aren't handling them overly well at the moment.
Well, no, that was a class kick by Toman to Gawthorpe there.
Siri comes in, and he has hit the post, and that's one they will hopefully not regret later on. So Woodend 1-2-8, Wallan 1 straight 6, and we've played nearly 13 minutes in the first quarter.
For me, Woodend's probably hasn't made the most of their opportunities so far. They probably should have had a couple of goals there. Gawthorpe should have taken that mark had he had that second shot. That you look at that, Woodend is on top early in this game.
Absolutely.
So the ball will be balled up here just in front of the scoreboard on the left half-back flank here for Wallan. Ball goes up. In front, Martin smashes forward. But Brody Gilchrist able to get the ball, bring it out, sends it back offensively. Taking a mark there by Jake Laley, gives the handball off. Muldoon sends the ball forward, but this is all Woodend here. Oh, Sidham from the back is able to knock it down. Goes back, gets his own crumb. Handball's back to Muldoon. Muldoon has a flying shot, and he's missed to the left-hand side. So both teams here, a little bit scratchy. That takes Wallan to 1-1-7.
They need to readjust the sights a little bit on the rifle, because they are missing some shots they should have got.
Trailing Woodend 1-8,
so
almost
Tyson
14 minutes
Chapman's
gone.
Going to bring the ball in for the Hawks.
And for those at home, we don't have a windy day out here. It can get pretty windy towards the left of screen at normally the goal scoring end, which would end in this first quarter, but we don't have that today. It's pretty still.
Well, Alistair Ray's put it in the middle of the ground, and Lucky Chapman's worked back up. Comes out now down to Ferguson. Ferguson takes off. Now there's an opportunity from there, off and running. That's then Davies going to kick it up, looking for Tommy Gawthorpe again. Plays it in front of him. He'll be looking to hand it off one way then the other. He's shrugged the tackle. Oh, no, Ollie Watt's been pushed out of the contest. The Hawks have got an opportunity down here through Patterson. Pops it up and they've missed another one. So Wood End 139, Wallan 117.
Both teams ringing the changes here, 2-3 at a time coming off for both teams. So the bench is getting heavily used, and this is going to be the first time we see big ruckman Geordie Roberts coming on in the game too.
Gilchrist with the ball, deep in defence, kick out, plays on. Looking to hit up Fowler. Ball hits the deck and there's going to be umpires picked a free kick. It's going to the Magpies.
Yeah, Gawthorpe just got into his back there. So Corey Vianney will have it at right half back. Brody Gilchrist wraps around for the handball. Kicks it long down the wing looking for Hayden Gill. Gill's got to jump. He does that but it comes down. Stapleton at the bottom of the... Stapleton's trying to claim that mark too.
I thought it was actually a mark there too.
So they've got to be careful because they're looking for Gill, but Martin's smart enough now with his big body, he's going to push him out and under. And this is where Gill's clever. He's pushing off back out of the contest now. Yeah,
Geordie Roberts has come on now to take some of the ruck work. So in comes Jake Laley. Handball gets smothered. Ben Toman at the defensive side of stoppage gets the ball. Handball towards too strong for Martin. Gives the handball off to Bramley. Bramley with the outside of the boot. Oh, slips catch there by Asiri. Plays on quickly to Mins. Mins left boot. Oh, can't quite find Gawthorpe. And the ball goes out of bounds in the left forward pocket of the Wood End.
That was a good mark.
And updating the netball, the margin's back to 1 goal after Wood End was down by 6. Now the margin is 24-23.
I reckon that's the first time I've seen Tim Martin come off during a game, especially in the first quarter, and he's blowing hard too. So
they haven't had Dan Davey for the last few weeks, who's had to do it all. Ball's tapped out. Gilchrist again, he's getting knocked up, getting the footy. Looking down, pushed out, and nearly a good grab down there by Gill. Ball's tapped on the ground. Oh, he's grabbed without holding it, and that's got to be a free kick. The umpire hasn't seen any of that. And if I was Todd Muldoon, I'd be right cheesed off with that.
Yeah, Giddings had a few attempts at grabbing the jersey.
He was the jersey. He was getting nicely pulled. Sideshow Bob. Here he comes. So the first time we've seen Jordan Roberts, or second time in the rucking contest today. Up it goes. It's not a great throw, and really to no one's advantage. Just punched forward down there by Morris. Down there to Toman. Out it comes down, out to Bowden. Out to Gilchrist, and pops it up high, looking for a marking contest. That's a good grab down there by Muldoon. And he's about 40 out. He should go back and have a shot.
Yeah, that very shallow throw in just then disadvantaged Wallan greatly because Wood End actually hadn't nominated a ruckman. So
I said this last week. When you're a ruckman, you've got to read your boundary umpires. And we know Sideshow doesn't throw it very deep. They're still coming in for about 30 metres away.
Looks like Ferguson might be playing that second ruck role. And he's only a young under 19, so he's probably something he hasn't had a lot of and probably not something he's looking at this level.
Todd Muldoon will kick from just outside 45, straight in front. In he comes, very deliberate approach. Sends it on its way. Umpire hasn't moved here. That's another one to Wallan. It takes them to 2-1-13, leading Wood End 1-3-9. Muldoon's first for the night. Well, you know, it is getting pretty dark here in Romsey, so everything looks the same.
That's Romsey. So Gill's coming off for a rest.
Look at this one here. We've got Wallan in front here. Wood End would probably be disappointed. They've controlled most of it. They've probably had 15 of the 18 minutes in their forward half and weren't able to make the most of it here.
The thing that we noticed, the big men don't get smaller as the day goes on, and they've got the height down the forward line at the moment.
Well, look, both sides will. It can be interesting whether they put Gill forward or Roberts forward to try and stretch them, but at the same time, you've got Alistair Ray, who's played a fair bit of ruck in this competition in the back line for the Hawks.
Ball's tapped down. Oh, coming through like an absolute bulldoze. Vianney still trying to get the ball out. Comes out down to Morris. Morris is well tackled by young Ollie Watt. And the Hawks are going to run it out by hand. And this is how they've been clearing it all day. Looking down there for... Oh, who we got there?
Dan Davey.
Dan Davey, that's right. We haven't seen him for a while, but the Magpies got numbers. Comes out through Cox. Cox by hand. Down through Morris, and they're going to run it into the middle of the ground, and they've got an opportunity. Handball over the top to Laley. He's going to run into open goal. Lane's back. Kicks long, and there's another one to the Magpies. No, the ball's dropped short. It's bounced the wrong way. The absolute... Oh, well, they're unlucky then. Normally the ball would roll, but it's gone the wrong...
On his point and comes straight back out, so end up being a point. So the ball comes out via Wiseman. Wiseman goes down further again, finds Mins. Mins turns around, right half-back flank, sends it down further down the wing to Ferguson. Ball comes down.
Playing Mins up in the ground early.
Ball comes out via Shawnee Morris. Sean Morris goes inside 50. He's out the back. Oh, Jacob Langboy's playing for the free kick against Stapleton here. Very smart Stapleton. Managed to stay on the top. Oh, but they've jumped on top of it. Giddings, that's got to be holding the ball. Oh, very, very lucky. He was paid the same thing down the other end. Harley Giddings lucky there.
You mentioned Mins playing up the ground, but you've got the exact same situation. You've got Tate Pears playing as the deepest forward, and he doesn't look 100% fit there. And you've also got Gawthrop, who hasn't played a lot of games. So
Mins is a known goal kicker. I'd be happy, and his petrol tank, because he's been away on holidays, wouldn't be huge. But I'm not the coach. I'd be playing very deep forward if it was me, because he is a really good goal sneaker.
So we'll have another repeat stoppage here.
But when the coach likes playing that role too, I suppose he's going to get precedence, isn't he?
Ferguson takes the ruck for Woodend against Sidham. Sidham with the big jump. Ball comes down. Both nullified each other. Sidham back in there. Somehow gets a kick out. Comes out via Dan Toman. He runs back into trouble. Snaps it around his body. Josh Pound here underneath this ball. Angus Love, clean balls all of him. Davey gives the handball off to Asiri. Beautiful tackle there by Fowler. Gets the handball back to Davey. He's wrapped up by Burns. Somehow gets the handball off to Ferguson. Oh. Fowler goes back in there. Hits young Ollie Watt very, very hard. Ollie Watt did very well to hold on there.
That kid is as hard as a cat's head.
And it'll be a ball up right in front of the commentary box.
He's my new favourite player. I've given Leroy Rodrescu the flick, and now it's Ollie. Umpires throws it right on centre wing. Martin just taps it down the front. Diving on the bottom of the pack is Gilchrist, and the umpire's going to come back and throw it up again.
Yeah, it looks like Riley Gilchrist paying very close attention to Dan Toman at these stoppages.
He was always going to get someone who's been Woodend's best player this year and should be in contention for the Boa medal, but I said that a couple of years ago and polled nothing, so.
Toman hands it out. Here it comes out and through Patterson. Patterson on the left foot, and that's a great hit. I'm not sure it was meant to go that low and hard, but he got up to Tate Pears. Now, ex-AFL player and ex-Essendon player, he should be able to pop this through.
Saying that, he was a defender, and if you saw Essendon's goal kicking last night, I wouldn't have much faith at all.
I barrack for the Bombers. Don't break me heart so early in the day.
I don't know if it went 15 metres either. Maybe 10, maybe.
Pears lines up, comes running in, pops it up, and is missed to the left. You're right, that's a defender's kick.
I was going to say, breaking the heart, and mine's already broken. As a fellow Bombers supporter.
There's not a lot to look forward to, is there?
Woodend trailing Wallan 1-4-10 to Wallan 2-2-14. 22 minutes gone, first quarter on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. In comes Gilchrist. Sends it long down the back flank, but it's all Woodend here, and punched over by Timmy Martin.
So they've got to be careful bringing the ball out of defence. Looking where Martin and the taller forwards from Woodend, they're not getting clear run out of the defence and not being able to carry even 3/4 length of the ground at the moment, Wallan.
So umpire throws the ball in right on centre wing. Jordan Roberts versus Tim Martin. Tim Martin just holds him underneath it.
That's a free kick going to Toman.
No. Umpire's called it back. Can't run off that early 10. So Toman had that close attention. Finally got a free kick and a stoppage. Plays on. Sends the ball to the centre of the ground. Wallan have to play in front, and Brody Gilchrist too good there in front. Read the ball beautifully off Dan Toman's foot.
How much trouble would Wallan be in if Brody Gilchrist wasn't there?
Comes out by Corey Vianney. Vianney down to Muldoon on the left half-back flank. So Muldoon turning around, faces it, goes down further. Spilt there by Valinsky's.
He should have taken that.
Yeah, it was a bullet, but that was an uncontested mark he should have taken. So can Woodend here make the most of this? 23 minutes gone, first quarter.
We should take stats of how many actual intercept marks Gilchrist takes, because he gets knocked up getting the footy.
He's in my team of the year.
Martin taps it down. No one's advantage. Tried to kick off the ground by Vianney. Good solid tackle. Magpies with numbers. That's Gill who's on the bottom of that pack, and that boy's going to ball up again.
You do mention about Gilchrist. He's actually playing as a loose man in defence, so that's why he's going as second man up and able to get those intercept marks, because he's actually got no player.
And he's sitting on Josh Pound. Sometimes he's got about 6 inches on Josh too, so kicked off the ground. Down looking here, looking for Sidham, and the ball's going to go out of bounds.
Yeah, we've seen Sidham last week. His vertical leap was huge.
He took a good hang on.
Yeah, and he does. He does most of the ruck work in the forward 50 because his vertical leap is so good, and that beautiful elbow sleeve as we mentioned last week. It's great for us commentators to call him.
That and helmets and pink boots, they're our favourites. Martin just takes it out of the ruck, kicks it long, pushed out there. We'll take Pears. Good tackle on Gilchrist, and the umpire. There's the siren. At quarter time, Wallan 2-2-14, leading Woodend 1-4-10. And goal kickers, Todd Muldoon for Wallan's got one, and Michael Backery, and for
Woodend,
Ethan
Hesket,
Mins.
Ethan Mins.
We didn't put that one on the board.
Yeah, so look, we mentioned in the pre-game that we don't think it's going to be more than a couple goals either way throughout the whole day. So this is exactly what we sort of visioned. But Tara, you mentioned it during the call that Woodend, they're going to be disappointed with that because they had most of that play.
They did. They looked very dangerous when they did get the ball forward and they could get that space to Gawthrop. He had 3 marks there and another one that just fell short. He probably should have had another shot on goal but missed that he missed a mark. He had one taken off at him. He only had 1 shot, but probably should have had 3 or 4 in the end there. And Wallan, when they went forward and they could get a bit of pace going when they did do that, they could get that running carry. We saw 1 goal through that, a second one bounced just on the line and bounced straight back in. That when they go forward like that, the Magpies look really dangerous. Wood and Hesket probably disappointed not to be leading at quarter time.
So if you're coaching Woodend, there are a couple of little things you're going to do. One, you wouldn't change too much because they're actually going okay, even though they've had some shots on goals. But the one area they probably need to clean up is when the Wallan are going to defence, they're going in with a bit of room, and they've just got to tighten up a little bit on some of them, especially if their midfielders pushing down. So if you're Josh Pound, you'd be having a look at that. But the way they've been carrying the ball in, they've had plenty of shots at goal. They've had 5 shots. I mean, really, they probably should be 3 goals 2 or 4 goals 1, the other way around, because they've had their opportunities. Go over to Wallan's side of the fence, though. Little bit of work to do coming out of defence, because what they're doing, they're not playing on quickly from full back and giving themselves the opportunity. They're starting to bomb the ball a bit. And Tim Martin, you see that they're just going and just nullifying every one of those contests. So they've got to do a little bit of work on there. Midfield, no one's on top. It's 50-50 in the middle of the ground. Both forward lines are functioning fairly well. I mean, Perry's been pushing up high. You'd probably want him to sit a little bit lower. That's the only changes you would make there. You just want to try and clean up there, bring the ball out of defence.
Later in the quarter, he did move deeper in that forward line, but look, it gave him a different look early on, and they were able to get a goal out of that one. And look, it's sort of pretty an even contest. You've seen the normal stars. You expected to get plenty of the ball, getting plenty of the ball as well. Dan Toman's doing what he wants in the middle of the ground. Gilchrist is dominating down back for Wallan, probably not making the most of the ball he is getting as that loose man. And
you hit it on the head earlier. Riley Gilchrist is actually sitting on Toman, trying to actually nullify him around the contest. So he's getting in between him and the contest. That's how the free kick was given out now over there. Got to be careful because Dan Toman's a very smart footballer, and they'll start creating space for him, and that's what their midfielders should be doing. Someone should be coming off a wing and just creating him a little bit of space.
Yeah, you mentioned during the call, Tara, that Brodie Gilchrist out there has had a lot of the ball. He's a loose man in defence. Josh Pan, obviously being the coach, he would have witnessed that being down in that forward line. Who's the loose man for Woodend? Because that doesn't seem to be a lot of drive coming out of Woodend's back line.
Well, I'm not sure whether they actually have one because they didn't have a lot of the ball down in Wallan's forward line to begin with. They've probably got a player closer around the ball is what I would say, because they don't look like they've got the 6 forwards forward, that they've got someone coming up to the ball where Gilchrist is staying a little bit back. So that's just that setup of how both these sides are setting up. Gilchrist has had a lot of the ball, but he's not that damaging at this point, I don't think. So whether you go, yep, we'll take that and work with that, or you do push your forward back a little bit. So you look at that there, it's one of those ones, they'll probably look at it, but at the same time, if he's not making them pay, do you change it?
Yeah, but how many chances do you get him to make you pay? That's sort of the question that I would think if Josh Pound's going through his mind, or he needs to get onto the person who's sitting on, who's meant to be, in talking marks, playing on Brodie Gilchrist and say, you've got to get more damaging around the contest.
Look, he put himself on Gilchrist towards the end of that quarter, but Josh Pound hasn't had a kick yet.
Yeah.
So he's been really quiet. The most damaging small forward's been Ethan Mins and his workload, but they pushed him up on the ball. He's been away for 6-8 weeks, living the high life in Europe. I would strongly suggest the petrol tank's not going to be enormous and the legs haven't got a right to run at him. So play him forward where he's dangerous, because he's one of these kids who, when he does kick a goal, he generates excitement, and that lifts the whole team. So I'd be looking to keep Minzy deep. They've got some really good smart footballers. When you look at Tatey Pears and you go up around their forward line with Tommy Gawthrop, who's had 3 shots on goal and missed all of them, you'd be expecting. I'd be putting Mins around there. I'd be wanting a bit more out of the coach. He's got to try and find a bit of the footy and set some examples himself. But on the other side of the fence, though, I mean, Brodie Gilchrist is doing a fantastic job down there for him. So is Brendan Cox. Brenton Cox. He's doing really, really well for him, and that's who's giving him the run. And Todd Muldoon has been very, very busy through the middle of the ground.
Tara, do we have an update from the netball?
Yeah, at three-quarter time, Macedon lead in Woodend Hesket 27-26. So for both of these sides, as it is in the football, we'll go through to the semi-finals. The winner will go through to the semi-final to play the top side for a spot in the grand final. The loser then will go through to the other semi-final in a knockout semi-final.
Yeah, look, it's great. Obviously, Woodend come right back there. They were 5 goals down at half-time. I think it was 6 goals at half-time.
6, I think it was, yeah.
So they've come back with as a 5-goal third quarter to the positive. That's going to be great for them as well. So we just got the teams starting to break from their huddle now. Look, there's not much that we can say out of this game that we haven't already said so far. It's going to be a close game. It's turned out to be a close game. Neither midfield's on top, but neither one is defending the other one too greatly either. So
let's just how they set up, because the wind is actually blowing a little bit to the left. There's only probably 1 or 2 goals, if that, when it does gust up. Be really interesting to see how they set this one up. So Pears has gone forward again for the Hawks. Sitting out, Riley Ferguson's come out this week, and he's been busy this game. Gawthorpe's gone down to full forward. Bramley, we didn't call his name a lot during that quarter.
He set up one of those, one of the goals, the Ethan Minns goal. He was the one who set that turnover up. But, yeah, hadn't had much outside of that.
And the other one, Kyle Baker, he's got a job in the middle of the ground. He's obviously got a tagging role to be a nuisance in the middle, because there's a bit of push and shove early in the game with him sitting in the middle. Alistair Ray working back in defence.
Wallan taking a long time to come out of their huddle here. This is the second time they've been hurried up. Obviously, Dan Nolan's got a lot to say at that quarter-time meeting.
They've got to clean up a couple of things. I mean, yes, they're leading at the moment, but it wasn't overly. I mean, Wallan play a really open brand of footy, and they were shut down a little bit there. And as I said, ball coming out defence was a real problem for them.
So Tara, both Stephen Boyle and Andy Wilson in the pre-games were talking about nerves amongst the clubs. Do you think the nerves have been shown in that first quarter? Both teams seemed to have settled. They just couldn't quite finish.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know whether it was nerves, but there was a lot of pressure around the ball, and sometimes you're going to get your turnovers because of that. There was a little rushed football, just trying to get the handball instead of settling a little bit, which could have been a little bit of nerves. But look, I think there's enough footballers in both of these sides that have played finals before. Wallan was playing finals last year. Woodend Hesket does have a lot of experienced guys in that team as well. So look, I don't necessarily think nerves. I just think a lot of pressure around the ball caused turnovers.
Yeah, so both clubs will be very happy with that, because I honestly couldn't see nerves out there either. I just thought it was a little bit scrappy finishing due to the pressure. So that both teams were very worried about that to begin the game. So both teams will be very happy with that.
And looking at this, we were talking about Brody Gilchrist. It looks like Jack Asari is on him at the moment. So it's one we'll keep an eye on to see whether Jack goes forward a little bit or stays back. Sorry, that was on Bryden Byrne.
Yeah.
Wrong one. They've both got the long hair there.
Yes. And Angus Love is another one with the long hair down there. So it does make it harder, and they all stand in the line together. It's Dean Bramley's gone to him.
Bramley's gone to him.
Maybe that's why we didn't hear his name too much. So the ball goes up. Gill gets a tap out down. But it's straight back to the contest. Ball's just skirting around. Morris off the ground there. Kicks 35 metres trying to clear the congestion. Port versus Chapman. And neither's going to win. It's going to go out of bounds on the outer wing. Chapman is another one, and Wiseman. We haven't called a lot of, and they were huge in the last game. So that provided all their half-back drive. So that'll be interesting to see if they can get going.
Interesting last game. Their best were Chapman and Bramley.
The ball comes in, goes down, picked up by Ben Toman. Somehow the ball comes out with no possession. They all just jump back on top again. Umpire's going to say, I'll have it, thanks.
Typical start of a quarter of footy. Just
and Tara mentioned it. It's pressure, just pressure. So
yeah, well, they'll break it open in a minute. Umpire throws it up. Martin just bangs it out the back. Runs through the middle of there. It was Mannix, I think it was. Kicks up high. Ball hits the deck. Comes in. Now there's an opportunity for the Magpies. A flying shot at goal. Up it goes, and down the back is Matt Perry. And Perry runs in and kicks a goal.
And we mentioned in the pre-game, he doesn't need to get a lot of the ball, but when he does, he makes the most of it.
That's his first for the day. He's very good when he works out the back of a contest.
But Michael Backery got a lot on that left foot snap out of the contest. I don't know how he was able to get much purchase on it, which is off one step.
In the end, it was you got Perry one out deep in the forward line. That's exactly where you want him as well. And it was the ball went over the back. It was perfectly kicked to him. That he could have gone back and taken the shot, but decided to play on. And they wanted to get Perry into the game. That's the perfect way to do it.
Yeah, Cody Bowen's only a young player, so he's got his hands full with with Matt Perry, that's for
So
sure.
90 seconds into the second quarter, Wallan leading 3-2, 20-1, 4-10 Woodend on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Ball goes up. Martin gets the tap out down to Baker. Baker gives the handball over top to Toman. Toman goes back inboard to Martin. His ball smothered there by Gill, who's pulled out sore out of that contest. Pat Backery is dumped hard in a tackle there by Wiseman. And it'll be a ball up just inside the centre square on the outer wing.
Just a little stinger for Gill.
Yeah, I think he accidentally smothered with his back rather than with the ball. So Martin taps the ball forward. Vianney's in a race versus Baker. They tap the ball again. Comes back to Kyle Baker. Jams it on the right foot. Big contest here. Mannix was being held by Pears, but it's been called to play on. Callum Langbourne leads back in the race. They all overrun it. Jump back on top there is Angus Love, who's dumped hard.
Lucky we don't have a sling tackle rule in the RDFL.
Daniel Davey made sure he heard that. It was Tate Pears. It could be Tate Pears. So Gill's going to take the ruck work here. Up against Pears. Pears taps it down. Sharked by Mannix. Comes out on the long boot with a long kick out, and Jordan Port read it perfectly on the right back flank here. So Port.
He should play on here because Martin's on the mark. Port just tries to hits up. Looking down there for Muldoon. Ball hits the deck. Comes into the contest. And down here's a good mark down here by Jacob Langbourne. Langbourne just pops it up, looking down there for Perry, and Perry's taken the mark, and he's about 40 metres out, right in front of the scoreboard, and as a true forward, he's going back and having a shot.
Yeah, he's definitely more than capable here on the left
Well,
foot.
last week we said he couldn't make it from 55.
No, we didn't say that.
I did.
Yeah, he's on the left foot here, so he's on the right. He's on the correct angle for the left footer.
Comes in, leans back, pops it up high, then has missed to the right, so that takes Wallan to 3-3. 21, Woodend 1-4-10. We've played 3 minutes into the second quarter.
We're now getting Perry into the game, which is what Wallan sort of wanted. He was quiet in that first quarter and now had a couple of marks and a couple of shots and goal.
So Mins out to Bramley. Bramley pops it up out to Ferguson. Ferguson takes it right on centre wing. Leans back, kicks out, looking for Pears, pushing down. But he's a bit too fast, the young Magpie.
Callum
Langbourne.
You got the Langbournes at either end. Callum Langbourne. Left half-back flank here.
He's leading.
He's had plenty of time. Langbourne goes down. They're out the commentary side wing. Oh, Ferguson flies high.
There's a free kick, and it's
it's got to go to Ferguson too.
Nah, it's going down to Toman, I think, isn't it?
They all want it, so...
Give it over, it's going to be 50.
It is going to go to...
Oh, hang on, umpire.
Umpire's changed the person the last time, yeah. So it is going to Riley Ferguson. Chips it in just to Riley Patterson, who's just come in off the bench. So on the mark here, you got Valinski's. Patterson looks backwards, sends it back back towards Alistair Ray. The switch is on. Beautifully read there by Jordan Port. Intercepts ball, runs into open goal and goes bang. Well done, Jordan Port. And that's another one to Wallan, who've really started this quarter on fire. It takes them to 4-3, 27. Sorry. To 1-4-10.
Good math, mate. You're always hanging on me for getting it wrong.
To me, that one looks like someone who's done their research, knew exactly what Woodend was going to do and try and make the switch. And
so that was the first switch attempt they did, and they've got a switch, and they do need to be able to do this against Wallan, but obviously a lot cleaner than that. But yeah, you're right.
Someone who's research
that was going on.
And Port's an experienced footballer. He's come across from EDFL in Tullamarine, where he's played in a whole lot of finals out there. So to come across that, we mentioned that first quarter, it was Woodend had a lot of dominance without control. We've now got Wallan kicking to that slight scoring end, and they're making the most of their opportunities.
Absolutely, they are. So umpire in the middle of the ground, just waiting for calling the 666, having a look.
And for those at home, Gill has got rid of the long sleeve jumper as well. So
tapped down by Martin, out to Gill. And here's another opportunity. Comes out down through Vianney. Oh, he's well tackled, and he's been pinged for holding the ball. And the Magpies, Hawks have taken off, and they've got an opportunity, but they want to make sure it's clean. And that Gilchrist again picks up, handballs out. Oh, Gill's, he's dropped the shoulder, and he's picked up a high free kick for it.
And that's right on, perfectly on the camera too, for anyone who didn't believe that was high.
That's what you do when you just drop the knee a little bit.
So Gill has it on centre wing. Goes down the line looking for Morris. He's shepherded well there.
Well done.
To Vianney. Vianney swings back inside. Over the head of Laley. Be marked there well by James Wiseman as the intercept. Intercepting defender. Swings it further out wide. Looking for the coaching Josh Pound. He has the ball on left half-back flank. Long way from home for Josh Pound.
That's about the first time we've called him today too.
So he sends it further down the wing. Mins was able to hold on to that. Mins Still the defensive side of centre wing. Sends the ball in further again, but it's turned over there.
No.
No. Bramley. Oh, he's paid that, has he?
Bramley's
Ooh.
got it.
Dean Bramley, right on centre wing. Goes in further inside again. And that comes out via Patterson. Back to Mins. Mins goes looking for Ollie Watt. Bounces in front of him. Controls the ball well. Looks for the outer side handball, but it's tackled at well time. Right on by Gill. Oh, Callum Langborn's just dropped the ball cold there.
Oh, he's
very, very lucky.
They look a little slow, Ben.
So Langborn comes out here to Michael Bakary. On the commentary side wing, Bakary just chips it over looking for Valinskis. Valinskis has been called to play on. Easily runs around Giddings. Goes further down the line looking for Mannix, the captain. Sliding mark here right inside of the interchange gates. Mannix assesses his options. Goes long. Looking for Langborn. He's got a fly. Oh, Stapleton's been stiff there not to take that mark. Comes out. And has been wrapped up right in the back pocket. Jordan Port doing a lot of work in the offensive 50.
That was Ethan Mins who's picked up a free kick out of this one.
And
Plays on. Chipped out, out to Tommy Pound.
I was going to say, quick update in the netball. Wooden Hesket is leading by a goal, having trailed all day.
Huge turnaround.
Hawks with the ball. Ferguson kicks into the middle, slipped over, picked up down there by Vianney. Plays on his left foot, looking for a hit-up target. Oh, that's got to be a free kick. The umpire hasn't paid it. Hawks out of defence, turned over, and that's a great grab down there by Vianney.
Having some sort of half Vianney.
I said he's probably been the one this quarter that's really stepped up. He's had 2 inside 50s now, and he's got a mark inside himself. He'll be probably right on 50 taking this one, so it'll be interesting whether he...
Hands it off, goes out to Valinskis, pops it up high, looking for a marking contest, over the back.
Jake Laley. I don't see him get off the ground very often.
Well, it wasn't exactly very high, but he did get it over the back.
He got it there, but Matthew Perry pushed his opposition out of the way to clear the space for his teammate.
They're certainly teaming up very well off the ball, the Magpies. So Laley, can he do it?
Was great forward craft there by Matt Perry. Well done.
I'll put my money on him. Jake Laley leans back and missed it. Sorry, Jake, I mozzed you by putting my money on you. It's like the horses I back, mate. It's like I'm the jockey.
4-5-29. Wallan leading Woodend 1-4-10.
Oh, his intercept mark again by Mason Bowden out there. They've done that a couple of times. Chip's picked it off. Now he's going back for a shot. And he's a big boy and he should be able to lean back and kick this. He's got the wind behind him. Not a lot of wind, but some of it.
Feels like it's picked up a little bit from what it was in that first quarter.
It's dropped about 3 degrees. I know that for a fact. Mason Bowden for the Magpies comes in. Pops it up high to the mouth of goal. Ball hits the deck. Who's got this crumbing speed? Magpies down to him and good tackle, and the umpire I reckon is going to come in and ball it up.
Yeah, that all had the Woodend defenders in all sorts. With that ball hit the ground there, that's the last thing you want as a defender.
Yep.
So the ball will be brought up in the left forward pocket here for Wallan. Gill in the ruck. Martin taps it down to Baker, who slams it on the boot, and it's going to run out of bounds just outside, just next to the Wallan coach's box. All calling for deliberate. Not even in the AFL would they pay that. Umpire, get ready to ball the ball back in here. Ball comes in. Beautiful throw in. Gill versus Martin. Gill got to the front. Taps it down, but it's just in congestion here again. Out via Cox. Cox runs into it. Has been wrapped up.
What's he doing down that end of the
I don't
ground?
know, but he took the tackle on. I would have thought that's a prior opportunity.
Well, if you look, there's only one player in the forward line for the Hawks at the moment.
Be a ball up right on the attacking 50 for Wallan. Ball goes up. Martin gets in front. Taps the ball back to Valinskis. Valinskis jams on the boot. That's Toby Duff Tyler. Duff Tyler gets it, switches dangerously here to Stapleton. Mark's just in front of Langborn.
There's a name we haven't called much today, Marcus.
Marcus Stapleton goes further out wide again, looking for Wiseman. Wiseman right in front of the scoreboard. They've shut down the switch here really well, Wallan.
He's going to force them across again. Let's see if they're awake, the Magpies, this time. Kicks it along down the line. Down there is Gilchrist. Ball hits a deck. Hawks with numbers. Toman kicks it out down to I've lost the name of Toman.
Shawnee Morris.
Yeah, Shawnee Morris kicks it along. Big leap down there by Langborn. Ball hits the deck. Matt Perry's down there fighting one way or the other. Hands it over to Sidham. Sidham pops it up to hot spot looking for a mark from the Magpies. Ball's punched to the deck. Down there is Bowden fighting hard for the Magpies. Handballs into the middle of the ground. Here's an opportunity for him. They can pick it up cleanly. It's going to come out. Comes out down to Gilchrist. Gilchrist is well tackled, and the umpire's got a free kick, and he's got a free kick goal. And the umpire, there's a bit of a scuffle, a bit of push and shove. Yeah, and they need to show a little bit of spirit, the Hawks.
Tom Pound has ripped Riley Gilchrist's head clean off there, so it was definitely going to be a free kick every day of the week. But I thought that was very well done there by Matt Perry on the outer side. The clever tap. Sidham just put the ball back to the dangerous spot, and that's what caused his stoppage.
This is going to be a nice, handy little lead for the Magpies, especially in a game that's not overly high scoring.
No, it's probably because they're getting close to the biggest lead Wallan's had against them all season with how close it's been, and Wood and Hesket leading in both those first two matches.
He shaked the kick. Please tell me he's not a defender who's gone down there and had a shot. That was a shocking kick.
I don't think the ball actually spun at all.
No, it was absolutely horrendous. But anyway,
so
live and learn.
So that takes Wallan to 4-6-30.
And they're going back to their own ploy. They're bringing Toman doing the kickings, which I'm not a fan of. And we saw this against Wallan last time. He's their best ball user, and it's gone straight over the top. And the ball, Shawnee Morris picks it up, runs into an open goal, leans back and goes bang, and there's another one for the Magpies. I said he was their best ball user game. I'm Mosin players today.
So that takes Wallan to 5-5-35, leading Wood End 1-4-10.
The Hawks have got to get going.
Yeah, out to a huge lead here in the terms of how the game's being played.
And we have a final result in the netball. Wood End Hesket getting the win 35-34 over Macedon.
What a comeback. Six goals down at half time. We're just going to say quickly goodbye to Tara here as she goes and does an interview for the netball game. So well done. Congratulations to Wood End Hesket there.
The Hawks need to get on their bike a little bit here. 10 scoring shots to 5, and that's concerning to start with, but it's the way the ball's going.
6-6 again.
And there's another free kick, and it's going to the Hawks. So it's
a 6-6 the second time.
No, he went to handball. Off he goes out to Bramley. Looking down there, and it's intercepted again. They've been doing this all game. Kicked out down there by Mannix. Mannix looking out for Gill. Gill pops it up, and that's a good mark and a good brave mark running the ball as Riley Gilchrist. He's been dangerous for him. Leans back this time. Sidham in the marking contest. One out down there. Ball hits the deck. Chapman. Martin just wrestles to the ground, and we're going to have a throw up in the pocket.
So it'll be a ball up in the right forward pocket here for Wallan. Wallan pushing hard. Ball goes up. Martin wins the tap out down. Taken away there by Patterson. Patterson drives it long. Out the back, Fowler versus Gawthorpe. Fowler, goes down hard is Vianney there. Umpire says, play on, thanks. Stop playing for the free kick. It'll be a ball up in the right forward flank for Wallan. Gill versus Martin in the ruck again. Minns is up at this contest. He's going to be dangerous coming past here. Ball comes straight down to Minns. Runs away from the contest. Left boot, beautiful, but it's dangerous position for Ollie Watt. Ollie Watt, could have gave away a free kick there, I thought. Daniel Davies going to get chased down by Langbourne. Great pressure from the young man. The foot race is on. Davey versus Langbourne. And it's a free kick, silly from Langbourne there. Davies going to take the advantage and kick the goal.
Much needed goal.
Yeah, much needed for Wood End there.
And that was good play, especially from Minns and Martin, where they were able to clear that contest.
That takes Wallan to 2-4-16, trailing Wallan. Is it 5-5 or 5-5? I think 6-5, is it? 6-5-35.
Like you waiting for the scoreboard to come up.
6-5.
So we played nearly 15 and a half minutes of the second quarter. And the Magpies have been absolutely all over them. And a lot of it is the intercept marking. So it's either skill error or the pressure on the ball carrier. And they've done that 2 or 3 times, got marked goals out of intercepts.
Yeah, and Tara mentioned as well that they've really done their homework here after that game. It was only 2 weeks ago these two played each other. Yep. So Wallan have really gone to work on how that game transitioned. So
Roberts is in the ruck against Martin. Martin just taps it down. Looking down here for Patterson. Ball's quickly cleared out of the middle of the ground by the Magpies. Pushed underneath. It was Bowden. Hand by hand again. Out to Vianney again. Vianney hands over. Kicks into, comes back. And there's another one to the Magpies. Bowden.
So that's the last thing Wood End wanted was they worked so hard for a goal, and the reply was within 30 seconds.
So they've kicked 4 goals this quarter, the Magpies, and that is a damn good quarter of footy. And they've shared it. There's not one multiple goal kicker in between them. Matty Perry's got one, Muldoon, Backery, Shawnee Morris, Bowden, and Port. They're all the goal kickers.
Yeah, it has been a lot of goals from general play as well.
Yep.
So they're obviously getting the ball, moving it very, very quickly through the general play.
They just look a little bit faster than the Hawks at the moment.
The ball goes up in again here. Jordan Roberts versus Timmy Martin. Roberts goes up. Beautiful body work, taps it down, goes over Toman's head. Vianney again, another clearance for Corey Vianney. Jams the ball on the boot. Matt Perry leads the race back, but he spills the ball out the back to Alistair Ray. Somehow is able to get back on top of it. They had another flying shot, but that was missed. I'm not sure who took that kick. I think it was Muldoon. So that takes them to 6-7,
Gee, there's a bit of
43.
midfield dominance
So
coming out of the Magpies at the
2-4-16,
moment.
17 and a quarter minutes played in the second quarter on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
So this is just purely midfield and intercept. They're just running harder and working harder, the Magpies at the moment. So Hawks with the ball. Plays on, brings it out towards the crowd or the grandstand, looking down for Martin. Ball tapped down out there from Toman. Toman gets it back, throws it over his head to really no one's advantage, and the ball's going to be tapped out of bounds. Good pressure by the Magpie forwards.
Yeah, it was a good sprawl from behind there from Jake Roberts too on the ruckman on Ben Toman. That ball was all Toman's, had his name written all over it, and Jordan was just able to get around the big Timmy Martin.
Really hasn't had a lot of influence in the game so far. He's done a really good job on him, his young Gilchrist.
Ball's come up. Roberts taps it down.
Mins.
Morris overruns it. They all overrun it. Oh, Morris has jumped back on top of that ball and is wrapped up immediately by Toman. But the umpire just says, I'll have it, thanks, on the point of the centre square, attacking side for Wallan. Umpire throws the ball up. Martin has front spot, taps it up in the air. Out the back here was Valinsky's. He's wrapped up hard, dumped. Ball spits out. Jordan Roberts gets the handball off to Byrne. Off to Vianney again. Jams on the left boot, goes high. Sidham's running back with the ball, but it's great mark there by Giddings. So Giddings has it in the right back pocket. Sends the ball inboard to a wide open Kyle Baker. Marks on the defensive side of the centre square.
Pound is pushing hard out to centre wing, and that's where it's going. Pound. The coach on his left foot, looking up there for Tate Pears. It's 2-on-1. Got to work hard here, Tate. Picks it up, goes to handball in, comes into wood end opposition, mark opportunity. Pears once again grabbed, and that's holding the ball. The umpire hasn't paid it, but they're going to be cleared out here by Muldoon. Muldoon kicks long down to no one's advantage. Ball's just running out. Giddens is going to be the first one there. Down there with Langborn.
Well done.
Picks it up, hand looking out there for Perry. Hawks have got numbers, and the ball's going to be thrown in, and it was out of bounds.
Jacob Langborn, well done. That was Giddings' ball and no one else's, and he just fought until he got there. Great contest.
A sideshow, Bob. We've been waiting for this one again.
Right in front of the scoreboard.
Welcome back, Tara, after her netball interviews. Huffing and puffing.
It was, but I got the job done, so back to the footy now.
Ball comes out. Riley Patterson leads back. Sends the ball inboard to Dan Toman. Goes further inboard to Josh Pound. Running through the centre circle. Sends it long. Ollie Watt's got the race here. He's got 2-on-1. Ball bounces for... great tackle, Braden Byrne. Riley Gilchrist there to help him. Byrne slow to pick up. Oh, that's straight in the back, I would have thought, Dan Davey.
Bit sloppy, Dan.
Yeah, just way too eager there. Don't want to do anything silly here either. Byrne has the ball. I think he's lucky to be playing Byrne. I thought he would have been cited last week in that game against Riddle, but
yes.
Ball comes out towards Brodie Gilchrist. Ollie Watt fires back, but Gilchrist, strong hands right just inside the boundary line.
He's got sticky fingers, hasn't he? He doesn't drop anything.
Very good footballer, Brodie Gilchrist. Sends it down further down the wing, over the top of the captain, and goes. Jordan Roberts just somehow just snuck in. Backery on the wrong side for him. Kicks on the right boot, straight up in the air. Oh, Gill has got to give a free kick to Stapleton there. Umpire says play on. Giddings at the back, off to Tom Pound. Gives the 1-2. Comes out via Mins. Mins runs through the centre circle. Sends it long. Looking for Dave at the back or Pound. Pound contests with Fowler. Comes out via Valinsky's. Tackle just as he kicked the ball. Manages to get it off the 1-2. Keeps running through the centre circle. Drives it in wide. Looking at the back there for Sidham. Ball sits nicely for him. Able to trap it. Has a flying shot. Langmore at the back. Over their head, and it's a minor score.
So
taken to 6-7, 43.
If we had the ability to be able to roll back play, not one wood end midfielder was pushing back to get in there. They were all bludgeoning, let's be honest, they were bludgeoning around the middle of the ground. And that's how they got to be able to bring the ball forward so quickly with the Magpies. Down to the middle of the ground. Off they goes, an opportunity here. Coming down, looking for the coach, Pound. Ball's got to bounce right, but putting his body in the way was Langborn. Pound picks it up, looking out down here for Gawthorpe. Ball runs over the back. Punched forward as Wiseman picks it up. Now's an opportunity for the Hawks. If he can hit a target, pops up into a hot spot, but it's all down there to
Mannix again.
Another intercept. Cox is waving his arms crazily out here, and that's the way it should go. And that's where it's heading right now, looking for Cox. Tommy Gawthorpe.
Fell awkwardly there too.
I thought he hurt himself badly there, but he's hobbled
He's
up.
limping.
He fell very awkwardly there.
He's a fireman. We breed him tough.
That last contest as Pound was running into the open 50 there, that was all due to Callum Langbourne. Left his player and he just created the contest. That's a big push there.
Shoved.
Sean Morris off the ground, smothered partially there by Patterson. Vianney dives in again, gets the handball out. Doesn't quite hit the target. In goes Jack Arceri. The ball spits out the back. Jordan Port jumped on top of Kyle Baker. The umpire says, I'll have it, thanks, and ball it up right on the line of the 50.
The Magpies have the two best players on the ground at the moment, and that's Gilchrist and Vianney.
Yeah, I think Vianney, then the Flemington straight, then Gilchrist. Vianney's on fire today. Ball goes up. Martin wins it down to Baker. Sees handball smothered. Jordan Roberts forgot he was playing football. Went back to his rugby union days.
He's paid it. Yeah.
He's an ex-rugby union player. I think those instincts kick back in there.
Oh, he's a big boy.
So Dan Toman has it right on the 50.
Look how crowded that forward line is. The Magpies are pushed right back.
He chips it into the pocket, looking for pairs. It's Sport from back. Langbourne dangerously handballs the ball back to no one inside, but Brody Gilchrist able to get back in there and just runs it over. That's a minor score to Woodend, 2-5-17.
And full credit
trailing
to the Magpies
Wallan, 6-7, 43-23. A quarter minute's gone. Better go back scoreboard.
Gilchrist comes out, and it's a good mark out here by Muldoon, who's been busy for the Magpies today. Muldoon looking up, looking down here for the ruckman. He's going to kick it down towards Gill. He's going to pop it up in the air. We're looking for Marcus. 4 onto 1. Gill over the back and takes a hanger. And Timmy Martin is sitting on his foot, and that would hurt. And plays on too. Pops it up, looking for another marking contest down forward. And an opportunity, but the Hawks have got numbers and they're going to try and run the ball out. Kicks it into a real dangerous spot in the middle of the ground, but it's taken down there by Patterson. Patterson plays on to Minns. Minns on his left foot, looking down as it kicks it to absolutely no one, and Mannix takes the mark for the Magpies. Just settle it down and slowing it down.
It was 5-on-2 then.
It looked like Minns was actually trying to hit Mannix. That's how good the kick was.
If that was the case, it was a beautiful kick. Gill again. He's actually doing, he's carving Tim Martin up around the ground.
And he's going to love that shot later on. If that's not on the highlight reel.
What's Matt Perry doing this high up?
He's not getting the ball. Gill's not going anywhere near there.
Someone go and tell him he's a forward.
Interesting, a bit of strapping on the left thigh there of Perry as well.
It's good eyes too, just skin coloured, it'd be hard to see. Gilchrist kicks it out wide.
There can't be long left in the quarter. 24 and a half minutes gone.
Kicked long down there by Langbourne to really no one. Laley's tried to keep it in play, but the ball's going to be thrown in on centre wing.
Yeah, I don't know if he tried too hard to keep that ball in Laley because it was 1-on-4, so it's a good thing to just get tackled over the boundary line and reset. Almost 25 minutes gone in the second quarter. Wallan leading 6-7-43 to Woodend 2-5-17.
Be long left.
Sideshow, ready to get on camera. Gives it a hoik. Comes in. Martin has best position, taps it down. Vianney again. Somehow the ball comes out via Jake Laley. He's wrapped up. He's trying to clear the contest.
Gone.
And that'll go to Riley Patterson, I believe.
And 50 and doesn't matter.
There's a siren.
He's not.
Nah.
He's gonna.
Let's see how generous the 50 is.
He's got to go for a shot of it.
Yeah, let's see how generous the 50 is.
If he kicks this goal, I'm doing a nudie lap.
No one wants to see that. No one.
The crowd says, thank God they don't have to see this body running around the ground.
Yeah, it was probably a realistic 50 rather than a generous 50. He's gone for an absolute torp and it's gone about 35 metres.
What a mongrel torp.
So at half-time, Wallan leading 6-7-43. Woodend 2-5-17. Great quarter there by Wallan.
So a 4-goal quarter to the Magpies then and 1 goal to the Hawks. So we'll go through the goal kickers just very quickly. Matty Perry's got 1. Muldoon's got 1. Michael Backery's got 1. Shawnee Morris with 1. Mason Bowden with 1. And Jordan Port's got 1. And over for the Hawks, only got 2 goal kickers. One's Ethan Minns and the other one's Dan Davey.
What do you take from that half, Tara?
At the moment, Wallan is a better setup side. They're running harder. They get into their structures. We had the situation there we had 5 Wallan defenders onto 2 Wood End attackers. That says everything you need to know about it there. You've got Wallan staying to instructions where Wood End's going to the ball, they're chasing the ball. When they do have their inside 50s, they're not using it well. They had the one out there with Pound and Langbourne.
Yep.
If they had been able to get it out, you had Ollie Watts there by himself in that forward line, but they're just not setting up well, and at the same time, Wallan's running harder.
And the thing we've noticed, especially the Wallan forward line, like Perry, and they're all blocking for each other, and they're working really well as a tight team down there, and they cleaned up their ball out of defence when they come in now, and they got on top in the midfield. Gill is all over Martin. I mean, Martin's still got the body and pushing himself around, but Gill's just jumping over the top of him and then running off and being a really good option around the ground for him.
I did mention in the pre-game that I was a bit worried about Wood End bringing so many players back into their forward 50, and there's just no cohesion there today. So, look, Pound's got a lot to do at half-time, I think.
And you mentioned cohesion in the forward line. It's up the ground as well. They're using Ethan Minns up the ground. We're seeing not much from Pears. Josh Pound's been probably non-existent. Gawthrop outside that first 10 minutes has gone really quiet as well.
Every one of those players you mentioned then are slow players, and it's the speed of they're just running off them at the moment. So really, really impressive from the Magpies, and they're in good shape.
All right, we'll take a break and see you back for the third quarter. Thank you. And welcome back to Romsey Park in this qualifying final between Wallan Magpies and Woodend Hesket. Wallan leading 6-7-43 to Woodend Hesket 2-5-17. A huge comeback there in that second quarter to Wallan really took hold of the situation.
Wallan ran, Woodend was stagnant.
Yeah, look, Josh Pound and the coaching team had a lot to talk about at halftime. What are we sort of hoping to come out of this, Tara?
Well, you mentioned nerves in that first quarter. I think there was more nerves in that second quarter. The minute Wallan got on top, Woodend fell to pieces. They lost their structure, they lost their setup, and they were chasing tail instead of setting up the creating of the ball. And I think that's the focus for Woodend Hesket. They've got to get back to their game plan and winning the ball. They did a lot of chasing in that second quarter, and Wallan were just running circles around them. They had a lot of run out of the middle. Vianney was one of them. You had a number of guys who did that. Gilchrist was still getting plenty of the ball as well. And
so on Gilchrist, they've got to find a defending forward.
Because Bramley, when he was on him, was still around the ball. So he was going too far up and allowing Gilchrist to set back. And even when Gilchrist was there, he was calling teammates back to go on Woodend players, so he was still the free man. So he's setting up really well and running that back line. But Woodend just need to get going and get some composure.
Yeah,
I think
so
that's
there's been
the
a
biggest
few
thing.
changes. Young Ollie Watts come up onto a wing. So their forward line. Pear's still down deep for them, so is Tommy Gawthorpe.
And Kyle Baker's gone to Brody Gilchrist in the forward line. So ball's gone up, kicked out of midair, comes to Asiri. Asiri with the handball off to Toman. Toman gives it off to running Ferguson. The handball down to Pears, picks up off his toes, did well. Handball overcooks it to Ollie Watt. Mins around the body, looking for and finding Patterson somehow. Turn around, it was on his shoulder. Goes inboard and finds Ben Toman. So very quickly there.
That's another move. They've moved Ben Toman forward. That gives him probably a little bit more. He's not the fastest, but a little bit more pace in that forward line, and they're not so stagnant.
Bit of smarts as well.
And some grunt work to keep the ball in there because
the coach's brother. I know it's Ben Toman, wrong one. Sorry.
So in comes Ben Toman for the perfect start for Woodend Hesket. Runs in, sends an absolute shank off the outside of the boot. It's not going to make the distance. Callum Langbourne flies high from behind and spoils it through. For the first score for the second half, takes Woodend to 2-6-18, trailing Wallan 6-7-43.
So Gilchrist kicks it along. Martin, over the back goes Gilbert. The Magpies have got numbers. Kick out's not a great kick forward, really making Muldoon work hard. Picks up handballs over the top, looking down here for Jordan Port, who's been really busy. And he hits up, that's a great mark by Matt Perry.
Even then, he wasn't in the right spot.
No, he took it for sort of the ball, went past him, he reached behind him and grabbed it. So Perry, he's probably 40 metres out. You want to buy real estate off me, I'm pretty generous.
Aiming to be the first multiple goal kicker of the day.
I'm not saying it, because every time I back them, they go no good. So Perry, in he comes. Pops it up. Short, the ball's touched and it's been rushed from behind. So it takes Wallan to 6 goals, 8-44, leading Woodend 2-6-18, and we've played only 2 minutes into the third quarter.
They'll be brought back in here by Chapman. He's got Riley Patterson out here, or Ferguson, and Ben Toman. He goes to the ladder in Ben Toman. He's going to have to fly. No one flows, and the ball just popped back down to Tom Pound at the front and centre. He jams on the boot. Callum Langbourne attacks it hard. Gets ridden into the ground by Asiri. He's jumped on. He's got to get it out. Does it so to Braden Burton by a great rugby throw that Darren Lockyer would be proud of. And it'll be wrapped up here right in front of the commentary box.
And it's his umpire's appreciation week again, is it, for us? Be nice to him.
He was blindsided. Can't complain with that. Tim Martin's making sure Gill can't get a run at this here. Blocked well there by Toman in the bed. Comes out by Mins. Mins jams it around the body. Braden Byrne just read it better than everyone else. So Braden Byrne has it on the right half back flank. Comes looking at it for his options.
Well, Vianney's out here with his hands waving around looking at it. Byrne kicks along to the middle of the ground. Looking down here for Gilchrist. And the ball's going to be a free kick.
Smart there, Riley. Jumped into the body to get the free kick away.
So he's got the tagging John on Toman. He's done a really good job on it. Vianney takes off. Handball's over. Now they've got an opportunity. Out through Morris. Morris kicks long. Lucky he didn't give a free kick away. And there's a mark. Jake Laley. And this is going to be a great start for the Magpies.
Paul, you and I called last week's game between Riddle and Wallan. Jake Laley had an absolute nightmare against Dylan Tarkson.
Oh, I know.
Now he gets to be the attacker forward. Good luck to him, I reckon. He earned that week off after last week.
A solid goal kicker as well. He's kicked 12 for the season so far.
So in comes Laley. Be 20 out straight in front. Pops it up in the air. It was a weird-looking kick, but he's nailed it. So Jake Laley, he becomes another single goal kicker here today.
Well, the second of love.
Yeah, the second one, the first one for the second half. That takes him to 7-8-50, leading Woodend 2-5. I think the camera.
You're not saying that with great authority.
No, it's. I love the little animations on the electronic.
2-6.
The little animations are great on the scoreboard, but they're a hell for when I'm trying to call.
Look, and I think the game's opened up a little bit already. We're seeing in the first 4 minutes, we've seen 3 scoring shots and a little bit more run and carry from both sides. So if we're playing this sort of game, it's probably going to favour Wallan because they are the team in front.
And they're a fit side. And everyone all year has said they're the fittest side they've played against too. So Gill taps it down. Min's
in the middle.
Hard and been held up. We're going to get the ball thrown up again in the middle.
You've been calling for him to be forward. They're putting him around the ball.
Yeah, no, don't listen to me. That's why I'm no value.
They're not. They're not listening to you at all.
No one ever does. My wife, my kids, the dogs, they all ignore me. Up it goes again. Gill, Martin just taps it over the back. Picked up by the Magpies. Kicked down into the forward line. Oh, one-hand attempt down there by Laley. Well tackled, and the ball's going to be another ball up. We're into the Magpies' attacking zone. Probably about 35 metres out from goal.
That was Vianney again out of the middle. He's continued where he started in that first half.
I wish we had taken some stats on how many clearances he's had today, because he's running out the front of the stoppage with ease.
Tap down. Toman. Head down is Duff Tyler. And the ball's going to be ball up again. So they need to clear this here. The Hawks, just get it on the boot. Just get it out of there. Up it goes. Martin just tries and does it. Punch it forward. Picks it up himself. Puts it on his boot. Kicks forward. Mins. Tackled down there by Vianney. Handball down forward. Magpies with numbers. Kick forward by Valinskas. Up they go. Ball hits the deck. It's all Hawks at the moment. Down here, down to the young fella down in Watt. Watt hands it out to Pound. Off he goes. On his left foot. Kicks long. Looking down for Gawthorpe. He's going to need to take this grab. Ball bounces over his back. Picks it up. Well tackled by Gilchrist. Handsballs over to Tate Pears. Pears on his left. Brings it into the middle looking for an option. Oh, big hard contest down there. Hawks with numbers. And the ball's going to be balled up right on top of the square.
And we said that at the start of the quarter, Ben Toman down in the forward line is going to create a contest. He just took 3 out in one contest, so that's exactly what he's there for.
A raging ball.
And the kick from Pound was perfect there. It was over the top. Yep. Gawthorpe was never going to get that mark out in front, so he's gone out to the back to allow him to run on it. And there'll be Toman at the bottom of the pack there.
It'll be a repeat stoppage at the top of the goal square here for Woodend, so they've really got to capitalise here. Ball goes up again. Knocked down there by Gill. Comes down and they'll just jump straight back on top again. So Wallan are making sure that there's so much pressure on this ball.
I reckon Toman's added a bit of grunt into that forward line as well. Not only that smarts and pace, but that grunt.
No, you brought that up earlier, and you're right. He's exactly what he's done.
Ball goes up again. No one can step out down. Bramley, he overruns the ball. Comes out via Byrne. Ball smothered. Goes up in the air. At the back here is Wiseman. He can't quite get the kick away. Gawthorpe in the middle of the goal square. Could pick up Corey Vianney. Smart runs the ball out of bounds and be brought in here by through for a boundary through for a behind. So we'll get it out eventually.
Yep.
Callum Langbourne brings the ball in here. Looking for his brother who's made a long hard lead but chips it in short dangerously. Ooh. Josh Pound gets in front and earns the free kick too. That was a dangerous kick by Langbourne. Not exactly sure what he was thinking there.
Look, if you're the coach of Wallan, you don't mind them being brave and trying things. That's how they got themselves in this position 5 goals up.
Yeah, but being brave 35 metres out from goal when you had players further down the line doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Now, if there's a coach's goal, if we can have it, and we have captain's goals, Josh, you need to kick this and give your shot team a little bit of a sniff. And
if he does kick it, he needs the whole team needs to get up and about because there's not a lot of energy out there.
No, it's very, very fast. It's very quiet even for us. There's not a lot of talk or excitement or anything. In he comes on his left boot, leans back and he signals to the crowd. He's nailed it. And that's the coach's goal. So that's his first for the day.
And there was a little bit of noise when he kicked the goal, so hopefully that does get him up and around.
Well, we did see in the netball when Woodend, as we mentioned before, Woodend came with 6 goals down at half time, and that last quarter, the crowd really got into the game. They need that from the football side of things, and we called for more from Josh Pound. He had this mark on the wing and got it forward that last time. That time got the free kick. That he is their leading goal kicker with now 25 for the season. So someone they can rely on to kick and goals. One of those guys who has got premiership experience. He's one of those ones who needed to step up. That's a really good start for him in this quarter.
Showing us up, Tara, with having stats and knowing what's going on in the past. We haven't prided ourselves on that this year.
I won't get a call back.
Ball hits the deck. Ethan Mins, good tackle on Gilchrist, and we're going to have another ball up. Up it goes. Martin taps it down. Well rowed by Gilchrist. Looking out here down here for Linskus, but it's going to be intercepted down there by Ollie Watt. Hal, when he didn't have it, Mins picks it up, handballs over to Patterson. Patterson, and it's a mark out here to Tommy Gawthorpe.
That was Ollie Watts has set that up. We talk about needing that speed and that pace, and he's someone who does bring that to the Woodend side. Well, they pushed him up onto the wing so he can work both ends of the ground. Now, Tommy, you do need to go back and kick this one. You've had a few shots today. We had one from here before that got taken off him. So.
And the first quarter, he had a couple of shots from about the same spot and missed them both. So really important kick. Puts it up and signals to the crowd. And that's another one. The Hawks are on the run. That's Gawthorpe's first, and it's the second goal for the quarter for the Hawks.
We spoke about this crowd. We're starting to get a little bit into it now. Woodend's got that run and carry going.
It's not a huge crowd, is it?
No, it's not a huge crowd. There's not many people over the other side of the ground. When we do have a big crowd, it does get out that way.
We've still got local footy going on around the area too, so that'll pinch a bit off them. So
it is, but yeah, look, for Woodend, we did have Wallan did get a little bit of the ball early on, got that first goal, but Woodend's got the next two. I think those changes.
It's only 19 points of difference, and that's nothing in footy these days. So 7-8-50 Wallan. Woodend 4-7-31. We played 10 minutes in the third quarter.
And we are right next to the race here for Woodend, so that's why you are hearing the crowd noise pick up, because Woodend Hesket are now on a bit of a roll. Ball goes up. Gill jumps very early. Martin stays down, taps it down, but it's wrapped up immediately as Pat Backery.
It's interesting, the guys that have really stepped up are those experienced ones for Woodend. Your goals have come from Gawthorpe and Pound, who have been their best two goal kickers the last couple of years. Toman's pretty experienced, who's now gone into the middle of the ground, having started forward.
The ball comes up. Brody Gilchrist somehow gets a handball out. Sean Morris rides the bump. Michael Backery sends it forward, but it's well marked there by Chapman. Chapman for Woodend. Intercepts perfectly. Switches it wide, but it goes high for Martin. Gilchrist flies. Can't spoil it. Martin's first back on the ground. Wrapped up there is Bramley. It managed to get the handball away to Ben Toman. Handball off to Big Tim Martin. Sends it further out wide and finds Wiseman. James Wiseman kicks it forward, looking for Dan Davey. Good. Oh, Dan Davey dropped a simple mark in the end for him. Ball comes down and they've wrapped him up right in front of the scoreboard to be a ball up.
You can tell Dan's been away for a little while. He's a tad rusty with the ball up in the air.
He read the flight well. He just didn't have the sticky fingers. So Davey here will take the ruck work. Ball goes up. One down there by Mannix. Somehow the ball gets pushed forward. Dan Bramley comes out. Beautiful handball at the back. Can't quite pick it up there was Patterson. It's run over there by Brenton Cox.
They've just... Thanks for that. When we do a handover, it's a tap. He just hit me in there with the scoreboard. Clipboard.
In the head.
Leave it alone. All right. We're just in front of the scoreboard. Umpire throws it in. Punch forward by Mannix. Kicked off the ground. Foot race down the ball. Gilchrist there. And it's just going to be a good pressure contest, and we're going to have a ball up again, just short of centre wing.
Wallan have done a great job restricting James Wiseman and Tyson Chapman's influence today.
Wiseman's hardly been sided all day. Up it goes. Martin just taps it down. No one's advantage. Magpies. Comes one way then the other, and that's through Pat Backery, and he slipped over, and he's got a free kick, and be careful, it's not a 50.
He's paid it, yeah.
He's paid the 50, yep. So the ball go back to Backery. The ball's kicked on after the free kick, and we're going to have a 50-metre penalty. He's going to bring him just pretty much to centre forward if it's a true 50.
And it was a long time after the whistle went too, so
yeah,
ill-disciplined play there by Woodend, which is poor considering they've had the run of the last 5 minutes.
The coach is on the mark. Let's hope he's not the guilty party. Backery kicks it long, looking for a marking contest. Up it goes. Opportunity down to Laley. Kicks out the back. comes out down to Siri. Hawks with numbers. Bottom of the pack, fighting and jumping on top of his Laley again. Out the back, kicks long out of the contest. Looking down there through Baker, and the ball's been taken for a mark. Brings it back into the middle of the ground looking for Martin, but over the back is Patterson. Patterson's coming out wide looking for a switch. Now they're being brave with the footy. Tyson Chapman picks it up, slips over, pops up in the middle, but there's a good pressure down there for Gill from Love.
Brayden Byrne picks it up, sends it long, back in the forward direction. But Chapman's here, managed to get back. Maddox's going to run him down. Oh, overrun him there. Sidham lays a tackle on. He ducked underneath it. He's been playing holding the ball. He did duck the tackle. Sidham on the left boot, almost hit the back of Maddox's head. Picked up there by Morris, runs through the tackle. Wild tackle there by Giddings. Pressure from Wood and Hesket here. Really starting to lift.
There's 50.
Is that going to pay the 50? No, the umpire says
last
no.
Week. We saw that last week.
Very lucky. Giddings has the ball. Sends it to a dangerous spot. Bramley drops the ball in right in the middle, defensive 50. Comes out via Bowen. Sends it out to Dan Toman, who's got plenty of space. Takes a bounce. Sends it on its way looking for Jack Arsieri. Being well marked there. Great kick from Toman. Arsieri has it. Offensive side of centre wing. Had Ferguson in board, but chooses against it. Goes in towards Wiseman. Wiseman just inside the centre square. Can continue the switch. Yep. Has Dean Bramley in the centre circle.
Martin pushing wide too.
Bramley has it. Back off the mark. Great kick right at the centre half forward there and finds Ferguson. Ferguson on the left. Sends it wider again. Well done, Callum Langbourne in front. Owen Fowler at the back. Cornered by Gawthorpe. Gives the handball into Langbourne. The 1-2. Sweeping handball out to Fowler. Takes on Gawthorpe. Manages to lay some sort of tackle on. Vianney under pressure. Jams it on the boot. It's gone straight out of bounds.
Sideshow Bob. It landed at his feet. He saw it better than anyone.
There'll be no deliberate there, thanks. It'll be Sideshow throw in. In comes Sideshow. Right on the interchange gates. Big high throw in.
They're cuddling
just cuddling each other. Gill throws a foot at it instead. Ben Toman gets in. He knocks it out. Ball comes down. It's a huge tackle on Shawnee Morris there.
You notice Woodend have picked up a little bit of forward pressure here now.
Just keep an
eye on.
Free
kick to right the Gilchrist.
Gawthrope's just gone into the Wood and Hesket rooms as well.
He's had a history of calves, and let's hope it's not one of those. That's a poor kick. Gone straight over the back. Picked up down there through Langbourne. He's got plenty of time. Pops it out wide looking for Cox. Cox on the far side of the ground on that reliable left boot. Poor kick into the middle. Hawks got a turnover here. Toman. Handball's over. Looking out there for Ben Toman. Kicks it over wide, and that's a good mark out there for the Hawks. No, actually
out of bounds, I think.
That was one of the messiest switches I've ever seen from Wallan there.
Hawks have put a bit more, started to really lift their pressure a bit at the moment. So we're only 19 points in it, so it's still gettable for the Hawks.
Gawthorpe comes straight back out, so it doesn't look like anything too serious there.
Over the back, Pound, handball's out. Numbers on the ground, they're looking for Mins, and the ball's going to be thrown in.
Lightning hands from Josh Pounds there. That was lightning hands.
That's that experience of having played at that higher level. He's really got into the game, and we needed him to in that forward line if Woodend was going to get back into it.
So Davey, he needs to do something here. An opportunity. Just throws away, picks it up, has a flying shot, and missed it to the right.
So 16 3/4 minutes gone in the third term. Woodend, Hesket 4-8-32, trailing Wallan 7-8-50.
So we're down to 3 goals. If you remember last time we saw these two teams play, this was in reverse, and Woodend got rolled at the end. So let's see what they're made of here.
So Brenton Cox will have the kick in here for Wallan. They're all calling for it loud. Doesn't know where he wants to go yet. Finally decides of the commentary side wing.
Kick it to
looking for Hayden Gill. Hayden Gill versus Alistair Ray. Alistair Ray, great body work. Gill has sold that very, very well there. I thought it was great body work by Alistair Ray. So Hayden Gill has the free kick on the right half-back flank. Goes out to Cora Vianney. He's had a quieter quarter. Vianney goes inboard but turns to... Min slipped over. They all slip over. Laley goes in. Handball out, gets a paddle out by Baker. Mins goes back in again. Handball at the back towards Ray. He's tackled by Port. Goes further back to Tom Pound. Back to Arsieri again. Jams it on the boot. Vianney at the back. Callum Langbourne. He's managed to get it. He's tapped by Josh Pound. And he's got free kicker going against the coach there for holding on. Vianney plays on with the advantage. Kicks it high up in the air. Tim Martin should swallow this ball and does just that. Well done there by Ferguson to just shepherd out Sidham from the contest.
So Martin, centre wing. Kicks long down the line. looking for... Oh, Ollie Watt went early, and that's a good mark out there for Davey out the back. Leans back, looking for the coach in the pocket. And he kicked one earlier in the game, so Josh Pound going for his second for the quarter.
Brody Gilchrist has been on the bench this last little period as well. Langbourne was the free player probably the last 5 or so minutes. Gilchrist looks like he's ready to come back on, but the Hawks have made the most of him not being out there.
Yeah, Langbourne just hasn't read the ball as well as what Gilchrist did it.
So Pound, we wanted a coach's goal last time he had a shot, and he needs to do this again. This is going to make it a really interesting game. So the coach, Josh Pound, comes in on the left boot, leans back and bang! There's another one to him. That's his second for the quarter, and that's our first multiple goal kicker for the game.
It is, and look, it was another dominant period for Wood and Hesket. They're now able to convert with what they're doing, and you'll get here, they probably should have gone down there a little bit earlier with Ethan Minns, but he slipped over there, but they were able to have that composure. They came back to Ray and came back even further to Tom Pound before they were able to get it forward, and they got it down to Pound there, who's now starting to have an influence. He's kicked 2. There was a handball on that far side with some quick hands that he's really starting to have some influence.
So only 12 points of difference, so we've got a ball game.
So 19 and a half minutes gone in the third quarter.
So that's the third goal. 3 goals they've kicked this quarter.
Yep,
The Hawks
3 goals
to
1. Yep. Premiership quarter, as they always say. So the umpire ready. Jordan Roberts in the ruck here versus Riley Patterson. Goes up. Roberts knocks it down, gets his own clearance. Not able to get the handball away. Comes down to Morris. Riley Gilchrist sends the ball up high. They're all underneath it here. Muldoon somehow gets a forward. Sidham gets the crumb forward. Chips it over the top, looking for Jacob Langbourne. He's knocked out. Great tackle at the back there.
Oh, tell you what, you got to earn them today, don't you?
You certainly do, and the Wood End crowd behind us are definitely letting everyone know.
I think Wood End feeling they're a little bit hard done by with a couple
throw in
of these.
here in the right forward pocket for Wallan. Ball goes in. Roberts versus Martin. Martin gets the front position, taps it down towards Toman. Brownlee, sorry. His handball goes to no one in position. Stapleton, his ball smothered. Tom Pound kicks it high, looking for his brother at centre half back. Well done, Angus Love at the back. Angus Love too tall there, able to reach over. Chips the ball back inside, looking for Sean Morris. Ferguson there was able to just get a hand in. Comes out via Tim Martin. Handball sweeps out. Ferguson's going to be first back. Can't quite keep it in. Be out of bounds. I don't know if he really wanted to keep it in there. So it'll be a ball in where the 50 meets the boundary line.
So an important time here for the Magpies, just to try and settle down here a little bit.
Yeah.
Umpire throws in. Well, that's a good throw in too, nice and deep. Roberts versus Martin. Martin's manhandled to the ground. Giddens is on the bottom of the pack, and he's hit hard down there by Love. And Sidham.
Bowden.
Is it?
Yeah.
Bowden. And we're going to have another ball up. Up it goes. Roberts taps it forward to the opportunity, but it's well picked up down there by Duff Tyler. Handballs out down here to Pound. Pound brings it out. Kicked up high to really no one's advantage out to Wiseman. Wiseman picks it up. Hawks have got a little bit of space here out to Ethan Minns. Minns, centre wing, plays on. Short little kick, but not a good one. He needs to work hard. Angelo Sidham's back down there and well tackled. And the umpire's going to say we're going to have another ball up centre wing over the far side of the ground.
So the all black boots, is that the new show-off boot? That, considering they used to be back in the day, it was if you wore a white boot or a colour.
I was watching the game last night. They got bright pink ones. You want to be able to play well with those.
I just seen Tom Gawthorpe walk past in the all black. Is that the new show-off boot?
Umpire throws it up. Martin just bangs it forward to advantage. Now there's an opportunity for the Hawks. Brings it into the hot spot, looking for a mark. Up goes Davey, and he's taken the grab.
There's sticky fingers on that occasion.
Sometimes the black boots are just the ones that can fit.
That's like clothes for me in a shop. But anyway, we'll leave that alone. So Davey, who hasn't had a real busy day in front of the sticks, and he needs to get this one. So he's kicked one, and that was in the second quarter. And he needs to go back and put this one through. So he's about 40 metres out, slight angle. In he comes, got the wind behind him, leans back, and you can tell straight away he shanked that because the head got thrown around. And he's missed what he should have kicked. And that will bring Wood End to 5 goals, 10-40. 10 points behind Wallan, 7-8-50.
Almost 23 minutes gone. 4 goals scored in this quarter, so might go for maybe an extra minute and a half, maybe.
Yep.
In comes Braden Byrne, plays on. Comes out to the commentary side looking for Gill and Jacob Langbourne. Langbourne runs around the contest, but Stapleton in front. Ball comes down. somehow gets the handball out to Jacob Legbourne. Gill pushes off Pound. Muldoon, he overruns it. Ben Tobin back in, jumps on top of Jake Laley and goes out of bounds right in front of the commentators here.
So what Wallan don't want is the Hawks to get a goal, and the Hawks need one. So it'll make it really interesting in the third quarter, coming into the last quarter. So it's Martin versus Roberts again. The two big men. No one. Just go straight over the back. Magpies coming out down through Vilinskas. One way and the other puts on his boot, and that's a good mark taken down there by Bowden. Leans back, puts it up high. And there's plenty of Hawks down here at the moment. That's a good grab down there, and he's been quiet all day, but he's starting to come in the game, Marcus Stapleton.
So Stapleton has it, centre half back. Goes into Ethan Minns. He drops an absolute sitter. Perry's all over him. Ball gets shut out the back by Muldoon. Back to Perry. Chips the ball up. Angelo Sidham all alone in the goal square. This is the last thing that Woodend needed. They've had all the play this quarter.
I was going to say, someone go and check Minzy's boots. He slipped over a couple of times, and that was one then too.
Yeah, he didn't slip over. He was standing still when that happened. I think he spent it before he had it. So Angelo Sidham here will come in from... He's been set on a very, very tight angle here.
Tell you what, Josh, I'm not sure how you found that angle, mate, when he's virtually nearly in front. But anyway.
So he'll kick from not even 15 out here. 24 and a half minutes gone. Wallan, this could be the perfect thing they need leading into the last quarter. In comes Sidham. On the runway now. Oh, he shanked it. Narrow side. Huge let off there.
And there's
a siren too. So that's...
Now we got a 9.
I don't think was it a siren or was it...
I'm not sure if the score's right. So they haven't given Woodend that point.
I've got 79259.
Okay, well that's what they've got. So I'm wrong as usual. Oh, neither.
I don't think the umpires have heard the siren. There's the siren again.
I was going to say they really do need to have a look at a bit of the siren. She's pretty quiet.
So 25 minutes that quarter went for 7-9-51. Wallan leading Woodend 5-9-39.
So a 3-goal to 1 quarter. And that was a good quarter for the Hawks. So let's go through the goal kickers. Tommy Gawthorpe got one that quarter, and he's had a few shots today, Tommy, so he needed to get that. Josh Pound kicked 2 that quarter. That's what you do when you're the coach. You've got to stand up and lead. Ethan Minns has got 1, and Dan Davies has got 1. Should have had 2. He had a good opportunity. Over the other side, well, we only had the 1 goal kicker that quarter for the Magpies. That was Jake Laley. But Matt Perry's got 1. Todd Muldoon's got 1. Laley, who said's got 1. Backery's with 1, Shawnee Morris has 1, Bowden and Port, they've all got 1. So no multiple goal kickers. That means they're sharing the love around a little bit, which is good, but you do need a key forward to stand up.
Yeah, look, that was a huge quarter there from Woodend. Very, very lucky to escape with a 3-goal to 1 lead in that quarter because Sidham should have nailed that from only 15 metres out straight in front. But that means they've got all the momentum, but they're still 2 goals behind. So last quarter is going to be huge.
It is, and Wallan does has a scoring end in the final quarter as well. That's where most of the dominance has been for Woodend. They lifted the pressure up, which is what we were sort of calling for at half time. They did throw some changes around. I think Toman really early on when he went forward in Ben Toman really set the standard up in that forward line with a lot of pressure and a lot of grunt there. Josh Pound stood up when we wanted him to. He kicked a couple and his hands were really clean, and I think they just wanted the ball more. They were running a lot more than what they had been in that first half.
So Minns coming up the ground a bit after I said he should have stayed forward. He's actually been quite effective around the middle of the ground. Slipped over a couple of times when he shouldn't have, but that's okay. Still, in the middle of the ground, Big Tim Martin's not getting any shorter, and he started to dominate a little bit then.
And I think Gill was quiet that quarter. They cut him out, and we mentioned out here when Martin was free on that wing. Yep. They should have used him more because if you're using him, you're making Gill accountable, and then he can't run off and hurt you the other way.
There's a couple of real obvious things that Wallan do that I'm not sure if Woodend have even picked up on it. When they're coming out from full-back, they always look for Gill. And every time they're kicking out to Gill. So if you're a midfielder for the Hawks, you're going to be pushing over and following him out. I mean, they're holding it up, and even if they do play on, Gill's coming out to the flanks and they're kicking it to him. That's a standard defensive rule. If you can't get it out, kick it to the ruckman, at least we can bring it to the ground. So if you know it's going there, Tomans and them should be working harder to get around Gill's feet, and they are. And then, like Duff Tyler stood up at the back, and Riley Patterson's been quite good. Ollie Watt, he stood up and did okay in that quarter. But the same old's over in this side of the fence for the Hawks. Perry for the Magpies, Perry was really effective down forward when it went down there. You can't go past Gill and Gilchrist, and the one I'm being really impressed with is Riley Gilchrist. He's done a really, really good job on probably the most damaging midfielder we've got in the competition in Dan Toman.
Look, I thought Dan Toman was really influential that first half, but he was very quiet that third quarter. When they got back into the game, you'd expect he would be one of those keys that they rely on, and he probably didn't do much. That's why I think you bring in someone like an Ethan Mins, and then they have to look at those different options, and they can't necessarily focus on Toman. I think now the key here for Wallan, they've got to lift their pressure back up. They are at the scoring end. Yep. See if they can get that run and carry going from the back line, which probably got shut down a little bit there. Would then just have to take it on. I think it's one of those situations, knowing that both teams will play next week, that you'd rather lose by 5 goals than not take that risk.
So it's really the first goal of this quarter is probably going to be the most important goal of the game. It'll either break Woodend's heart or give them some enthusiasm, some encouragement. So it'd be really interesting. I mean, it seems to be the scoring end. There's probably 2-goal wind blowing down that end, so it'll be really interesting. Very important, the first goal.
Yeah, look, I thought that quarter, I thought Corey Vianney and Sean Morris both went out of the game a lot in that quarter, which sort of dried up all the drive that...
Well, Morris seemed to go forward a lot more
Wallan
than
had
in
but
that quarter.
Josh Pound, I just think his smarts and his footy IQ around the ground was influential. Tara, you called it perfectly, where he couldn't hit Tommy Gawthorpe on the lead-up lead, so he kicked it out the back, and Gawthorpe had the whole back 50 run into. His lightning quick hands in the corner. He's just doing very, very smart things around the ground that, again, he's a bit like Matt Perry. He doesn't need to get a lot of the ball to influence the game, but in the first half, he didn't influence it at all. So if he continues his form in the last quarter, he's going to be a lot that Wallan have to pay attention to. They can't just let him run around like that because he does cause damage.
So the Waddle Huddle, there's a new word. Woodend huddle has broken. Waddle Huddle, I'll have to put that on put a patent on that word.
I don't think anyone wants to take it, mate. You can
I've said some stupid things over the year. That was probably up there with the best of them.
And for those who weren't here earlier, we had the netball, A-grade netball qualifying final as well.
Have you got the results for all the games today for netball?
No, I've only got the second two. Diggers Rest won in overtime against Western Rams in the B-grade. In the A-grade, Woodend Hesket was 6 goals down at half-time and came to beat Macedon 35-34. And these are just some of the games, as we've only got one. We've got no around the grounds today because the other final's being played tomorrow. In the football, we have got Riddle and Romsey, the two old rivals, and that match will be up at Woodend at Gilbert Gordon Reserve in
we'll be there doing
Woodend.
that one.
And then in the netball, we have got Wallan versus Romsey.
Yeah, look, it is it's an action-packed weekend across all levels. It's great to see in the netball that's how close the competition is. The first game in the B grade goes to overtime. The second game, Woodend come back from 6 goals down at halftime to win by a goal. So that's another nail biter. It's great to see how even this competition is across both net football and netball. It
is, and I think it was Riddle who got the win in the C grade. I can't tell you who won 19s, but yeah, Riddle got the C grade win.
We spoke to Jordan before the game, and he mentioned in the juniors about how it was 8 out of 10 grand finals were shared amongst different clubs, so everyone's involved. Every single junior club was represented in some form in the junior grand final, so this league is just getting better and better.
Oh, we've seen this all year, apart from the Rams, everyone. I mean, Lansfield knocked over Riddle and pushed Romsey in the last round, so everyone's pretty close.
And I think Malson Centrals beat Riddle as well.
Yep.
They did, yep.
We saw Centrals play a few games. They were in it all, the whole day.
I think they were always expecting next year to be that year to sort of play finals. This year under Matt Sproul was sort of to get back into it, see what Matt had there and that young talent.
I think Matty Sproul's coming to join us in the commentary box if I saw the...
Possibly, yeah, I think
the letter from the league sent, email from the league sent to us.
Yes.
So we're just getting ready here. The last people from the general public are clearing from the ground.
So it looks like Mins is still in the middle for Woodend. Hesket, Ben Toman has started forward again.
I think Mins and Vianney will be going head-to-head here, these two, and it's a good... And we see Gilchrist is still sitting on Toman's up. It goes. Martin just punches it forward. Toman working hard to try and get the ball in the bottom of the pack. Down there is Watt. And it's going to be a ball up in the middle of the ground. Martin's been jumped on. And the earth shook. And up he gets.
So this will be interesting to see here. The first thing Martin does is look for where the body of Hayden Gill is to try and block him out from the drop zone.
Punches it over the back. Down on the bottom of the pack is Morris, and we're going to get another ball up. And now they'll punch it clear, and we'll get a free kick. Which one will it be?
I reckon we've got one more in us.
One more, normally 3, you're right. Up it goes. to no one's advantage. Martin just picks it up, puts it on his boot, just slams it forward. Looking down there for Tommy Gawthorpe. 3 Wood End players went up against each other. Ball hits the deck. Ethan Minns picks up, bulldozes his way through, slams it on, pops it up high. Who's got the marking? Goes pound the coach.
Pound.
That took a lot of courage there because Michael Mannix was humming straight down on him then.
The old days, he would have split him in half and killed him. But anyway, he stood up. So Josh Pound.
He's fooling no one here. He's having a
going short. No, I'm not sure it's a great option.
Oh, it is. Dan Davey.
It's come from nowhere.
Oh, it's Timmy Martin.
No, it's not.
Oh, no, it's not. Is it Dan Davey?
It's Dan Davey.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. I didn't mean to embarrass you like that on
That's
air.
right. No, that's right. I looked over and Tim Martin was there. I'd love to know how this umpire is setting his ankles because.
Oh, no, it's a different.
So Dan Davey here has one already today. Perfect start for Woodend if he can nail this. And goes straight out of the umpire's hat.
Now
and the crowd goes. Takes Woodend to 6-9-45.
That's his second goal.
1 goal to Wallan here. Right back in this contest. Pressure is all on Wallan here.
So Woodend have got to do this. They've got to get the ball out quickly to give the big tall forwards the first choice. If it's a slow entrance in, they've got the running power, Wallan, to get back and fill the holes. So good quick play by big Tim Martin, put on his boot and got it out.
Well, and you mentioned, obviously, we go Minns in the middle. You said going head-to-head with Vianney.
Yeah.
Minns is getting a bit of the ball, but he has shut Vianney out of the game too.
And he's bulldozing his way through it. So up it goes. Martin taps it down again. Everyone overruns the ball. Minns again, as we called, pops over the back. Mannix is there trying to pick it up for the Magpies. Doesn't pop on the ball's just going to be balled up, and we're going to be just shy of half forward for the Hawks.
And you look at that goal which got set up. We mentioned Pound again. His smarts there. He knew he was too far out. You called it. I was thinking that as well, and was able to find that tall key forward down there.
So the ball, no one's able to knock it out. Comes back down the ground. Dan Tomey comes through. Somehow gets the handball out, but Gill runs out the front of the contest. Tackled by Martin. Manages to get the handball out. Pat Backery runs onto it. Kicks forward. Finds Todd Muldoon. Muldoon on the right half forward flank. Takes the mark, looks forward, sun's in his eyes.
Centre forward, no one on him.
Yeah, it's a long way away. You can't switch that
Vianney's running in, Gill's running in.
Muldoon pops it up, it's going towards Gill, sits on his head. Stapleton with a big contest at the back. Perry not able to pick the ball up. Just jammed on the boot by Tim Martin. Comes out towards Bramley. Spall from behind is Mannix. Bramley gets back onto it first. Handballs backwards. Dan Toman chips it up. Finds Ethan Minns in the centre of the... silly. Braden Byrne. Silly. No need for that at all. And that's going to take Ethan Minns inside 50.
We'll see
we
what
still have two Woodend players down.
One of them Stapleton. I can't see who the other one is.
It was a big contest. So Minns plays on, chips it forward. Oh, well done, Sean Morris, able to disrupt the ball. Josh Pound goes in, wraps the ball back inside Shawnee Morris. Umpire sees that Pound had that ball.
Looks like that may have been Ray, who's the other one who is coming across to this side of the ground.
Bit of the magic drink over there. We don't know what they put in. Same stuff they put in when Sonningham went down at Diggers and made a comeback.
45 out in attacking end for Woodend. Davey knocks the ball forward. Ben Toman's in there. He gets tackled without the ball. They all just jump on top.
Well, the next goal's going to make this era interesting, and scores will be tied.
4 minutes into the last quarter, Wallan leading 7-9-51 to Woodend 6-9-45. Punch forward there by Davey. Riley Patterson sends it high towards goal. Callum Langbourne marks uncontested in the goal square, and Tom Gawthorpe made him earn it.
Well, you got to. Gilchrist is out here by himself. He hasn't seen him.
There's no one out on this side, though. There's no movement here from Wallan. We spoke about in the second quarter how free-flowing they were.
Onto Gill. That's a short one.
Yeah, Brenton Cox takes it just outside the goal square. So Brenton Cox now assesses his options. Just pass the responsibility on. He goes short to Valinsky's with a bullet. Valinsky's just still inside the defensive 50. He's looking for another switch. He's been called to play on here.
Gill will be the target here.
Oh, it's a shocking kick. Oh, well done. Braden Byrne made up for his 50-metre penalty there. Byrne goes inside, looking for Gilchrist. Riley Gilchrist, Spall from behind his Minns. He's called chopping the arms. And Brody Gilchrist will call play. Oh, no, he's got to come back over the mark, son.
I think you might have been a front-on contest there.
Yeah, that's what I thought the free was for too.
So Gilchrist plays on by hand. Comes out down to Valinskas. Well tackled. Oh, that's a clever mark by Matt Perry.
Just a smart footballer. A smart sportsman, actually, Matt Perry.
What else is he proficient in?
He's a cricketer. He plays out at Rivergum in the Northern Metro Cricket Association. Won 3 league best and fairest. was being coached the last few years. I think he still is out there.
I hate people that are just multi-talented like that. I couldn't be good at darts, let alone anything else.
I tell you, we're getting shown up something shocking, Dave, with all your knowledge about these local sportsmen. It is your job, though, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It is my job. I can't play sport. Well, I attempt to, but I can talk sport.
So, Perry, they need to answer this one. Leans back, kicks long, but the ball's going to be touched on the line and rushed through for a behind. So that just... Now, we use the word handy points.
Yes, you can use it
Can
now.
I use it now?
Yeah,
that is a handy point.
Not
so
in the third quarter and you used it last week.
7, no, you're just hard on me, you are.
You used it in the first quarter today.
Yeah. Oh, well.
See, it's not just me.
Yeah, righto.
No, be careful what you say there.
I'll just storm off into the huff.
So ball's chipped into the right back pocket here and Michael Stapleton takes it.
Recovered beautifully with that magic wood end water.
Stapleton comes down the line looking for Tate Pears. Tate Pears runs hard at it, but it's well done by Bowden in the middle, able to knock it off. Goes to Gill with a beautiful throw. Called play on. There's a high jump sport at the back there by Stapleton.
Morris.
Beautiful tapped on there from Perry to Sean Morris.
He's hit the post.
He's hit the post, so that takes him to 7-11-53. Wood End, 6-9-45. That handy point doesn't matter anymore, and it's now 8 points.
So the Hawks bringing it in.
Yeah. Comes out via Ray. Up early was Cox
it's a free
there.
kick.
It's got to go to Ray, surely. Yeah. Cox, unrealistic attempt.
Slow to get up, Ray, after the little hard contest we had about 5 minutes ago. Handballs it off. Oh, you want to be careful coming from behind, but he's quick with his kick. Looking down here for Asiri, and he just worked Maddox under the ball. Asiri leans back, kicks long. Looking down here for Big Davey. Ball hits the deck. Brady Gilchrist. Who else? One way then the other. Gets it out. Handballs it off. Comes out down here to Gill. Gill pops it up, and it's a good out to Vianney.
Very clever kick there.
Vianney comes out. Oh, that's Vianney. Now he's got it. Sorry. Kicks it up short, and he's been well intercepted down there by the Hawks. It's taking their time. Bringing it out down here through Pound. Out wide. Trying to get the switch going to give themselves some space. Looking down here for Toman. Takes the mark. Right on the 50 in defensive area. Kicks long. Looking down for Asiri. Traps it beautifully. Handballs over that, looking for Bramley. Picks it up. Drives it in long, looking for Davey, and he's hit him on the chest. He's a fair way out, and look, if he's Ollie Watts by himself. And it's a shocking kick, but sits up for him. Ollie Watt runs into open goal, and there's another one. And it's a 2-point ball game.
And now the crowd is really getting involved here.
That's Ollie Watt's first goal, and that's the second goal for the quarter for the look. And since half time, they've only kicked one goal, the Magpies.
It is, and the way Woodhen's getting the ball forward, it's with ease. When Wallan's going forward, it's taking a lot of time and it's fairly under pressure. Where that one you have Watt out free there. Looking, Gilchrist is no longer the loose man. He's on Josh Pound. So whether or not Josh Pound's decided I'm going to stay back with him, or Gilchrist has had to take on that role because Pound has been so dangerous in the second half.
100% correct.
Yeah, look, you did mention that Laley's only Wallan's only kicked one goal this quarter. They've actually Woodend's kicked the last 5. So there's a huge.
Martin taps it down to Toman.
All the momentum.
Here they go again. Bramley, one way then the other, swaps around, comes back looking for the marking contest out wide. Now Siri takes the grab.
You mentioned the last 5. Wallan.
Siri, takes off, kicks it long, looking down there again for Davey, and he's got the sticky mitts, and up he goes.
I was going to say, Wallan's only goal of the second half came in the first 4 minutes as well, came in the 4-minute mark. So they've gone more than a quarter without scoring a goal.
Well, whatever magic they spoke at half time is working very well for them.
Well, they've chipped it in all alone. Kyle Baker, how does that even happen? That's a poor defensive setup here from Wallan.
That's a couple of times they've been caught napping in defence, the Magpies.
Wallan, they're not moving. They're standing still there. They're not looking for that next contest. And we're seeing Woodend get a lot of space in that forward 50.
This is the opposite to the game we saw 2 weeks ago. The exact opposite happened, didn't it?
So Kyle Baker's going to shoot from just outside 40, straight in front, to put Woodend in front. Kicks the ball on his way. Umpire shuffles to the left, but it's gone through. Shepherded well on the boundary, on the goal line, and Woodend have hit the front. So that makes it 6 on the trot here for Woodend Hesket since the last goal was scored by Wallan. All the pressure goes right back on Dan Nolan's team. Woodend leading 8-9-57 to Wallan 7-11-53. In the 10.5 minutes gone last quarter on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Well, they're up and running, the Hawks.
At the moment, they've got no answers. You had that shot from Morris, which you probably should have converted before, which was they're looking at a 6-6-6.
And they got him again. That's twice they've fallen for this, the Magpies. Their structure's fallen down. Mins kicks out wide. And it's a good mark taken out there. Now they're coming back in again. Looking down for us, Siri. The ball's punched her out of bounds, and we're going to have the ball in just short of the 50-metre mark. Woodend in attack.
So who would have thought this at half time?
Not me. I've nearly written them off. As usual, any horse I ride goes backwards.
That's unlike you, Paul. You've gone the early crow many times.
Oh, it's my story of my life.
So ball gets thrown in, very, very high throw in. Martin leads back, takes the ball out of the ruck, tries to get the handball off to Wiseman. Gill somehow kicks the ball out of midair. At the back here is Muldoon, gives a handball off to the running Pat Backery. Takes ground, hits a low ball in, a big push there from Perry, but well done there in defence. Managed to get a foot to it. Angelo Sidham picks it up, centre half forward, wheels around with an absolute scrubber. Clean bowls everyone. Perry's running back against Giddings. Ball falls, stays in board. Jacob Langboard gets around one. Can't get around the second one. That's holding the ball.
Yep.
Huge there in defence.
The Hawks have been wanting one of those calls all day, and they've finally got one.
So Tom Pound has it now in the back right pocket.
It was a really sloppy entry by the Magpies as well, and they were often running on that far flank.
He's looking for his options here. Comes straight down the line looking for the big ruckman. Tim Martin goes up. Ferguson went up as well. Comes down. Sidham with the tap on there. Goes forward. Perry's trying to claim the free kick for holding the man, but it'll be a throw in the left forward pocket for Wallan.
There's been a couple of throws get through the system today.
It was. Interesting looking. Riley Gilchrist has been going off the ground when Dan Toman does. Now Toman's back on, but Gilchrist hasn't come with him.
As he comes to the interchange gates now. Martin taps it forward, but it's wrapped up immediately there is the Wallan player. So all the pressure here is right on the Woodend defence, doing everything they can to keep the drought running here for Wallan. Ball goes up again. Sidham with that vertical leap, can't beat Tim Martin. They all just jump back on top again. We'll have another repeat stoppage.
Toman's on the bottom of the pack where he normally lives.
I'll let you call this. Might be able to get a stoppage here, Paul.
That's right. I'm the stoppage caller king. Martin. Oh, Sidham jumps high. One way, then the other. Comes out from Wiseman. Well tackled, and the ball's
too high.
Too high.
James Wiseman very lucky there not to get pinged holding the ball.
It's a free kick. Going to the Magpies. When he turns around, we'll see who it is.
Sean Morris, isn't it?
No, it doesn't look like him. Oh, it is.
I've said this before, this is a massive goal in the context of this game. It'll give the Magpies a little bit of...
yes, it is Shawnee Morris. Yep.
Yeah.
So they haven't scored a goal in a quarter and a half.
Yeah, give them back a little bit of momentum, and it'll put them back in front, considering how much in control Woodend has been. For the Magpies to still be in front.
Really important kick, and he's put it up and has nailed it.
And he's gone to the crowd too and made sure that the Wallan crowd now get involved.
And that's their first multiple goal kicker. That's his second. He's kicked one in the second and one in the fourth. So...
Morris and Vianney still been very quiet since half-time.
Yeah, but as someone said before, they don't have to have a lot of the footy to make an impact, and that's an impact.
And you look at it, Morris has had 2 shots in this final quarter, so he's got back into the game a little bit. Vianney, I think, still fairly quiet with Mins having taken him out of the game. And you look at that now, Wallan's gives them a little bit of momentum, and it's probably what they needed to do that. Now they're back in front.
Almost 15 minutes gone for the final quarter. Wallan leading 8-11-59 to Woodend. Hesket 8-9-57. Ball gets tapped down. They all just jump back on top. Riley Gilchrist in the bottom of that pack again, and he's wrapped up, not going anywhere.
So one big important thing is what's fallen over here. Gill is not trying to jump. He's now trying to actually embody out Tim Martin, and that's not the way it should be. Martin taps it down. Ethan Mins on the bottom of the pack. Hawks out there. Martin picks it up. Just pushes them out of the way. Don't argue with me, he says. Pops it up high, and that's a good mark there by Mannix. The captain pushing them off. Looking wide. Langbourne's out here, but he's ignoring that. Short little kick out there to Morris.
Too early to slow the game down,
Yeah,
Shawnee.
it is absolutely
Too
too
early.
early. There's not a lot of movement for them, is there? They're just going to kick it out wide, and that's going to go out in the full. And that's a poor kick by the captain, not by the senior player anyway. Gilchrist throws it over. Toman's got the ball, and they've just been wearing each other all day, these two. Toman, lucky not to be smothered off the kick. And that's
Great
a good
mark.
grab. That's down here to Riley Ferguson. Ferguson kicks to the hot spot, looking for a marking contest. Up they go, the Magpies have got numbers, and Brody Gilchrist again with another intercept mark. Takes off, kicks it down the wing, looking down there for Muldoon. One-handed attempt, not good enough. Ball hits the deck. Hands are looking out for Laley. Muldoon still working, holding up the ball. Handball's off. Here they're off and now, out through Laley. Kicks down short and hits up down there for Langbourne.
Toby Duff Tyler out there on the outer wing, stiff not to get 2 free kicks, holding the man and then holding the ball.
And tough kick from here, and I'm not saying it because every time I ride them, they miss, and if I say nothing, they'll kick it. So a really important goal, and this will give them a little bit of breathing room they need. Jacob Langbourne, famous name in the Magpie colours, pops it up high, and that's a good-looking kick to goal, and he's nailed it. Now, that takes Wallan 9-11. And that's Langbourne's first, and gives them that little bit of breathing space of 8 points.
It is the game's. It's got another twist.
It has, and we didn't expect that because they've been fairly beaten in the second half here, the Magpies, but they've last 2 goals have gone their way.
Oh, look at that. As Tony said, I thought Duff Tyler probably should have got a free kick on that wing.
Stiff,
but
wasn't he?
he had that second effort as well and probably should have been going the other way. But at the same time...
So 2 scoring shots now Woodingham have got. We've played nearly 17.5 minutes, so it's not going to be a long quarter.
No.
They've been going for about 23 is about the average time length they've been going. So up it goes again. Gill's got some jump back. Pops it up high. Magpies out through... Bramley, sorry for the Hawks. Pops it up. Look down there for Tate Pears. Pears is well tackled. Handball's out the back. Just kicks off the ground. That's a bit lazy. You've got to do better than that. Right, Ferguson picks it up and he's well tackled. We're going to have a ball up just short of the centre.
Surprised that Tate Pears can stand up after that whizzy dizzy. Went for about 7:20 and the umpire let him keep going. So
He hasn't been overly effective, Tate, today, has he?
So it'll be a ball up, attacking side of the centre circle here for Woodend. Martin gets front position again away from Gill. Blocks him out from the jump. Ball comes down, knocked forward by Pat Backery. Somehow comes out by Sean Morris, kicks it out off the ground. It's going out towards the boundary line. Laley versus Chapman. In comes Kyle Baker into Chapman with the shepherd on. Baker sends it forward. Is that out on the back? Ooh, very, very lucky there, I thought there for Riley Patterson.
You mentioned about Pears there. I think he's one of those guys. He's come back in off injury. He looks like he hasn't had a number of weeks underneath his belt. He's probably that one out of those ones. We mentioned Mins has been good. Davey's been solid, but Pears is probably the one struggling out of that lot.
He has, and he's playing fairly high up the ground where you'd probably put him a little back towards the square.
So Martin taps the ball forward. Kyle Baker's running back onto it. Jumps on top of Sean Morris. He's wrapped up. Somehow the ball comes out. It's another very, very aggressive tackle there at the half forward for Woodend.
Well, Wallan has just got to hang on. Woodend's the one who's got to do all the attacking here. Umpire throws it up. Wrestling away, Martin just kicks it out of the air, looking for a marking contest, and Angus Love takes the grab. Good intercept mark. Just they're in no rush. They're just slowing it down a little bit. Told to play on. Kicks long down to the wing. Looking for Gill and Martin. Bit of acrobatic work there from Gill, but no avail. Ball hits the deck. And the umpire's going to come back in. We're going to throw it in half forward for the Hawks. They desperately need one rather quickly here. Well, they need 2 to win it, to be honest with you.
There's probably still 3 minutes left, 3 to 4 minutes left, so there's plenty of time, but they need to get moving now. So ball goes up. No one can get it out of the ruck contest. Running away there, knocking it forward
Here's a chance.
was Patterson. Runs in again, has a flying shot. Davey at the back. Gilchrist, just runs out for a behind. So that takes Woodend to 8-10, 58. Wallan 9-11, 65, 20 minutes gone.
What it does do is give Wallan an opportunity to set up and run it out now.
Yeah, for a set play. So Brody Gilchrist will bring the ball in. He comes out to the commentary side. Angus Love's out here if he wanted to. That's the way it's going. Love versus Ferguson. Sidham goes up as well. Ball comes down. Tom Pound gets the handball back to Chapman. Chapman handballs off to Mins. Good shepherd there by Ferguson.
Minzy.
Mins has kicked that out.
The Wood End bench is going crazy there. They thought that they'd done enough to keep it
Sideshow
in.
Bob is never wrong.
Braden Byrne will take this here. They're still just chewing up the clock here. 20 minutes, 45 seconds gone. Byrne sends a dangerous kick in. Love can't quite take the mark. Bakary drops
high.
the shoulder.
Yep. Smart play.
Yeah.
Don't do anything silly, Angus. Or Pat, hang on, bring it back.
Yep. So in comes Michael Bakary. Chips it short, finds Valinskas.
Now they're slowing it down.
Now. 21 minutes gone last quarter. 7-point lead to Wallan. Valinskas has it. Right on centering, right in front of the commentary box. Plays on. Kicks it high down the line. Hayden Gill's going to run and jump. It gets sput down a bit. Tom Pound can't get it at the drop of the ball. They all jump on top of him. And it'll be a ball up. Left half forward here for Wallan. Maybe 2 minutes left, I'd say, 2.5. Tom Pound last off the bottom of the deck. Umpire says time on. Gill tries to get the run and jump. Taps it down. Michael Bakary sends it high inside 450. Perry has the front spot. Spoiled from behind. Comes down. Dan Tomey goes through his legs. Riley Gilchrist, he's on top. Jumps back in. Pound drops it, ball down. Muldoon's in there. And they just wrapped it up again, so they're just eating away time here.
Yeah, this is what they want. Stoppage after stoppage is what the Magpies need.
Time's running out for Wood End.
And the Hawks have got to start getting some open football and start running, get some quick goals.
The Hawks will have an extra player around the ball. There's a loose player back here for Wallan.
Martin just bangs it forward. On his hands and knees was Gill. Well tackled down there, and the umpire's going to come back and we're going to throw it up again. We've played nearly 22 and a half minutes. There can't be long left.
Been 5 goals scored in the quarter, so
up it goes. Martin just taps it forward and picked it up, and is just going to have another ball up. This is falling right into the Magpies' hands here, just chewing up the clock.
Every stoppage is inching Wallan closer to face Wood End next week.
No, Diggers next week.
Diggers, that's what I meant, sorry. So big punch forward, comes out to Michael Bakary, sends it forward on left boot, smothered, goes high in the air, Sidham, knocks it out. Matt Perry's first onto it. He can't quite get in. Smart, just keeps the ball in motion. And great hard tackle there by Angelo Sidham.
What's the umpire doing here, throwing it up
Yeah,
again?
he says, I'll have it. So it'll be 35 out from Wallan's goal. Ball goes up. Martin just smashes it forward, but it goes down to Byrne. His ball smothered. Comes down via Duff Tyler. His handball goes up. Riley Gilchrist grabs it. He's wrapped up immediately. It'll be another ball up. Right half forward here for Wallan. Siren, I reckon, would be about 45 seconds away. Ball goes up. Martin taps it forward towards the boundary line. The race is on. The ball gets shoveled back towards forward, but it's picked up by Corey Vianney. Gets pushed as he kicked. Goes along the boundary out, and the full is being paid. So Wood End here have to get the ball and move it quickly. They can't be standing still. It has to go. Got to go now. And it's taking a long time to come back in here. This is one thing they do to hide. There's the siren. Wallan win 9-11-65 to Wood End Hesket 8-10-58. Wallan on to face Diggers Rest next week. Wood End will face the winner of Riddle versus Romsey tomorrow. Guys, what a game.
Good game of footy. And look, Wallan led pretty much all day, and they were just the better side. In the second half, it was topsy-turvy. They didn't kick many goals, but look, the pressure was there, and Wood End just gave them too much at half-time. The second quarter was just disastrous for them.
I think probably what hurt them was also that first quarter when they weren't able to convert. They had plenty of opportunities early in that first quarter, but weren't able to hit the scoreboard, and Wallan went in at quarter time. So, look, I think the second quarter they probably conceded too much as the pressure slipped, but also that first quarter when they didn't make the most of their opportunities.
So you go through. We'll just go through the goal kickers and who I gave as best players, but yours will be different as they are every week. So for the goal kickers, Matt Perry kicked 1, Todd Muldoon got 1, Langbourne 1 of the Jacob variety, Laley got 1, Bakary 1, Morris 2, Bowden 1, and Port 1. And over for the Hawks, we've got Tom Gawthorpe with 1, Ollie Watt with 1, Kyle Baker 1, Josh Pound 2, Ethan Mins 1, and Dan Davey 2. Best players. Tara, have you got any written down, or do you want me to go?
Look,
Throw you under a bus
I don't
here.
think there was a lot of four-quarter performers. That's probably the biggest thing we've got from it. After that first half, you would have said Corey Vianney and Brodie Gilchrist were definitely the best two players on the ground, I thought. But they got shut out of it in that second half, and you had the likes of Pound and Ethan Minns really step up for Wood and Hesket. Dan Toman was solid without being a standout. I think the key defenders did a really good job for both sides and made it really hard for those forwards. It was one of those matches. Ben Toman was another one who really set the standard early for Woodend in that second half. Morris was solid in the first half, had 2 scoring shots in that last quarter when they really needed someone to step up. So, look, it was hard to pick votes because I don't think there was many four-quarter performers.
No, you're right. And look, I've gone a little similar, but a little bit different at the same time. I thought Riley Gilchrist's job on Toman was a sensational job. He tagged him all day. And look, for a Toman performance, which we've seen many great games from him, it wasn't one of his better performances. Corey Vianney, in those I think it was the second quarter when they needed him to stand up, he just absolutely dominated it all. Josh Valinskas, I thought, did well. Brodie Gilchrist, as usual, when he's just mopping up across half-back, was really good for him too. Shoot over to the Hawks. Jack Arsteria, I thought, played a good game. James Wiseman did serviceable. Timmy Martin, I mean, him and both Hayden Gill had a really good contest all day. And I wouldn't give them points anyway. I would say they broke about even. Riley Ferguson, I said, did a really good job. And Ethan Minns, for an impact player, hasn't played for quite a while, was really effective too. And he's only going to get better for the run.
Look, I'd definitely saying off today's performance. I think the winner of the Woodend Hesket playing the winner of Riddle and Romsey tomorrow, Woodend would have to go in favourites because they were not great in the first half, but that just shows in that third quarter, well, the second half altogether how good a team they can be.
Yep.
Wallan, look, they've definitely got things to work on if they're going to go up against Diggers with that outfit because... One
full credit to Dan Nolan, the coach, though. He identifies the problems and fixes them during the game. Like, they were really struggling to get the ball out of defence, and he fixed that. I mean, he, around the centre of the content, and centre bounces and that, they were struggling a little bit there. They had a hard tag on Toman, and then you see Corey Vianney stand up. But Vianney and Minns were just going head-to-head against each other. Minns in the second half probably had a little bit better of him. And I'll give full credit to they were actually, to be honest with you, Wallan out-coached the Woodend side today.
So we can see here as we just zoom in on the Wallan huddle, Michael Mannix has really given a very hard talk to his team to let them know exactly where they did and didn't, where they did fail,
well,
where they
a couple
did well.
of games to go,
and look, that just gets more and more important from here on in. So
full credit to them.
Paul, you and I will be there tomorrow for.
Thank you, Tara.
For
Thanks for having me.
Riddle.
Next week, we got you again.
Possibly.
Yeah. So Tara, thank you again for everything today. It was great to have your input. Obviously made me and Paul look like absolute dunces. Hopefully we get a job
Not so many stats next time because we look like fools.
Look, I can't wait for tomorrow as well.
Yep.
Obviously Romsey versus Riddle. Woodend, Gilbert Gordon Oval.
Are you going to be able to sleep tonight? Are you that excited? No, Romsey are in the finals tomorrow.
You wait till you get to Gilbert Gordon Oval tomorrow. It is in fantastic condition, and we were there for the female grand final 3 weeks ago. And the crowd was just amazing. So I can't wait for tomorrow.
Fantastic. All right, everybody, we might call that a day. Thank you. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Cheerio. Thank you very much.